Welcome everybody to Do All the Things, the GDQ Hotfix show all about 100% speedruns and completionist categories in general. I'm your host, Mr. Shasta, and tonight's overall on Hotfix, not just to do all the things. We have a very Metroid-centric night on Hotfix. It's gonna be great. We're starting off with, of course, the original Metroid here. Got 100% class for Sky W. And afterwards, we have it dropped. So the teacher's filling in with Mega Man X 100%. Still fits the retro theme overall, I'd say. It's very good. And then afterwards, you have Super Metroid 100% with Finn Type, for my show at least. And then afterwards, I'm Purely was actually doing a Metroid Fusion randomizer, so look forward to that. And then also we have Metroid 1 fan game, and then Metroid Zero Mission fan game by Meister as well. That's what we have all tonight in terms of Metroid, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a very good night to say the least. But for now, though, we have someone who is, as we know, in the entire Metroid speedrunning scene, be very, very good at what he does. And recently he's been having a tear through Metroid 1, and I'm excited to see what he's going to be doing tonight for us. So, what's up, Sky? How you doing tonight? Pretty good, pretty good.
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you? All right, no, that's good. I am in speedrunning Metroid games for almost a decade now. And recently, like Shasta said, I've been playing Metroid 1 a whole lot and trying to get a leaderboard sweep there. And that's probably going to take a lot longer than I'm anticipating, but we'll see how it goes.
You also have a commentary with you as well, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
And yes, and with
hello.
I've got Bread for
I
Brunch.
am Bread for Brunch. I was also a big speedrunning for Metroid 1 speedrunning back in the day. I haven't run it in a couple years, but I'm still super pumped for this run.
As am I, honestly. And whenever you're ready, you can give us a countdown. We can get started.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a quick console reset, and in 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Metroid 1. Something that you're going to see a lot of in this category is... Honestly, I don't know. I just started talking and thought something would come to me by the time that I finished my sentence, and nothing came to me.
That's so fair.
Brad, what about you? You think of something we're going to see a lot of in this round?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
It's something we're going to see a lot
Here
of.
we go.
Well, I think first thing we'll see is enemy manipulation. The way that Metroid works, especially for the NES, is it can only hold 5 enemies on the screen at a time.
It's,
or maybe 6. 5 or 6, something like that. 6, perfect. So the reason why Scotty sort of stopped at the beginning there was to kill those 2 enemies to then sort of prevent some spawn manipulation to happen to prevent a zoomer from showing up early or later on in the room, which then allows us to sort of zoom on by. You'll see enemy manipulation used a lot in this, not just in terms of just where they are, but also their direction, as enemies sort of inherit certain directions from their old enemies that are in the same indexing in the code as them. So it's very important throughout all of this run to actually make sure that we're setting enemies up so they're moving the right way, they're in specific spots, they die in specific spots, and all of that fun stuff.
And that is a great explanation. I couldn't have done it better myself. Something to add to that is that enemy manipulation is also really good for reducing lag. If you kill a certain number of enemies on a screen, it will allow you to spawn different amounts of enemies on the next screen. So instead of having 6 enemies on this screen like I have, well, not like I have here, instead of sometimes having up to 6 enemies on a screen, you can manipulate it so that you only have 3 or 4 enemies on a screen. And reduce lag by a whole lot.
We'll see a lot of that, especially later on in the run, when we get more lag-inducing items such as Screw Attack and Wave Beam, but for now it's relatively relaxed. But when we do get missiles that we can use, we'll be able to sort of kill enemies more proficiently, as right now our beam only goes a few blocks in front of us and doesn't actually reach the end, while missiles do. So we'll be using a lot of those to our advantage as we move on in this run.
And since I know someone is going to ask, we do not get long beam until the very end of the run. And I am a long beam hater. What about you, Brett?
No,
Are you a long beam hater?
No. Long beam's the best beam in my opinion. I
I don't
have
know
very,
about
very
that one.
contradictory viewpoints on this one. I'm a weight
long beam.
hater.
You only can have 3 beams on the screen at once. So if you shoot 3 beams and they all miss, you're just waiting for them to despawn, and your fire rate is greatly decreased because of that.
It's even worse if you
That
pick
might
up
just be a get good moment on my part, though. I might be missing enemies too much.
I'm on your side, honestly, of long beam. I'm not a big long beam fan myself. I think it should just be there by default, which it is for other Metroid games past this one, but yeah.
One thing I want to bring up while we get to our next item here, which will be our bombs, is our missile count specifically. Namely, because we're picking up bombs here, we're going to be fresh out of missiles, and we need to get to Ice Beam, which is also behind a 5 missile door. So we need to do a little bit of farming for missiles to actually make up that our deficit here. Metroid is nice and sort of annoying in the sense that drops are tied to the specific frame in which an enemy dies. So we try to space it out by at least a frame between enemy deaths, even if we bunch them together. Missiles are especially unforgiving because only 24.5% of the frames will actually have us drop missiles. So we have to usually kill a decent amount of enemies in order to actually get it. And the chances of actually getting like all 3 missiles back to back is something like 6.5%.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it makes you appreciate layer Metroid games a little more because they have logic to actually prevent you from like not being able to get missiles if you have full health, for instance.
Yeah, it's real rough. Also, rooms have a set amount of drops they can't even have for missiles. So if you're grinding a lot in one room, you can actually run out of missile or like drops for that room, and it won't actually generate enough missiles in order to get what you need to do. So you have to constantly be sort of refreshing the room when situations like that happen.
That's pretty wild. I didn't realize it even worked that way in this game.
It's a pretty rough situation.
Yeah.
And in moments like this, you find yourself all the way to Ice Beam with only 1 missile drop.
All right, there's another missile drop. Let's respawn some enemies here. And hopefully we have another drop here, or otherwise I'm just going to reset the room. I am resetting the room.
Yeah. While we are waiting, I want to take a quick moment to talk about what this run even is. In Metroid 1, we have a host of different categories. This is, of course, 100%, so we'll be picking up 21 missiles, 60 tanks, and all the fun item upgrades. But the classic part makes it specifically like a glitch-less run. It's not technically true because we're also eliminating stuff like death warps, which was possible by using up and A on the second controller if you pause it. But classic sort of removes all major glitches while also removing those death warps. So it's sort of one of the longer 100% categories.
All right, don't let that missile grind scare you away from watching the rest of the run, because that should be the only time we have to grind missiles here.
Yeah. Unless we get...
Fingers crossed. Unless I do something stupid, which is always a possibility.
Usually you're pretty good with missile counts in 100%. I like never have to farm for missiles in this category.
Usually. There's a pretty interesting trick that happened leaving that last room. If you morph and unmorph, and then on the 8th or 9th frame after you unmorph, you jump, you get a little bit of extra height. It is a frame perfect trick. And that is like the only use case for it. Oh, there's the missile drops.
Oh yeah, there we go.
When I don't need them.
Fortunately, we pick up missiles pretty much right before we see any red doors, so we don't have to do anything crazy.
How do I want to...
sketchy Ripper coin. I believe.
We're gonna pack this up, I guess. Can I... Oh, we're not gonna back it up. Hold on.
Oh no.
Try this.
Should work. Oh no.
Okay. Oh, that was the cycle I wanted. Whoops. So the waivers here, they move like, they have a low arc and a high arc, and it alternates between the two. And oh my gosh, I'm getting bodied. And you need to freeze it when it goes up high. That was a low arc there. There's the high arc.
Awesome. So while we're also in this lull, I do want to say another thing to sort of preemptively remind people of things. There are a couple glitches that are allowed, mostly just because it's really hard to not avoid them. Scotty mentions the frame perfect sort of unmorph jump, but we'll also be seeing a few other ones like one right there where if you unmorph in midair and you don't press left or right, you will be able to like store an extra jump while you're in the air. This doesn't have to be just from unmorphing. If you take damage while also standing still, you can also get an extra jump. Another glitch that we will see, I'm trying to remember what it was. It's the sort of double shooting a beam. If you hold B, Samus actually has a limit on how fast you can shoot naturally, but if you hold B while pressing another button, then every time on a new frame, you will be able to shoot another shot, allowing you to shoot and spam really fast compared to what is naturally given to you. Really cool stuff. We're right now on our way to Varia from this last door, and this will actually be the last item we get in Brinstar for this section. There's only 2 items left in Brinstar, namely an E-Tank and the long beam, which we'll get last because it's so useful. But after this, we're on our way to Norfair, which has the most items in the game, mostly missiles, but also contains some fun items such as screw attack and high jump. But it's mostly us just transitioning from Brinstar to Norfair, which is on the other side of Brinstar.
And what word am I thinking? Man, words are... I had so many words earlier today, and now I'm all out of them.
Hey, words are hard.
Thus begins, that's the word I'm looking for. Thus begins the long backtrack to the Norfair elevator. We started, once we got missiles, we were right next to the Norfair elevator, and then we turned around and did this big loop to get everything else. But now we're on our way back there.
Mm-hmm. A lot of backtracking if you don't allow for wrapping or death warps, but it's also fun. You get to see a lot more tricks in it too.
Yeah. And even this backtrack is actually in every single category. Even if you do allow for wraps and warps, it's just the fastest way to get from Varia Suit to the Norfair elevator. Which is kind of unfortunate, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Just how it be sometimes. That's alright. The more movement is nice to see, especially in a run like this. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, and also if it's deathless or if it's anything else, you really have to do a whole lot of explaining. I just tried to split. You have to do a whole lot of explaining as to what you're trying to do, because if you're not doing classic, you're doing a lot of off-screen movements.
Yeah.
And that can be pretty difficult to explain and understand for a casual viewer. Even if you're experienced even if you've been watching Metroid runs for a long time, you probably have no idea what's going on off screen.
Oh yeah, it can get real confusing.
Mm-hmm.
But welcome to Norfair. Hopefully notice the purple palette change, which is sort of indicative of at least this upper half of Norfair here. This also lends us to our first sort of larger point, which is something known as like just general global patterns, which depend both on the type of NES console, like front loader or top loader, or just the emulator itself. And you can see it in these popcorn patterns here, for starters. Namely, sometimes you have popcorn being like little white things that are popping out from the red turrets. Sometimes there's, depending on the pattern, sometimes there's no popcorn here, sometimes there's high patterns, sometimes there's low patterns, all this fun stuff. And these will be sort of more relevant when we get to enemies like Ridley and Kraid, which have nicer patterns depending on what the global pattern Officially, the floor pancakes that shoot rocks are called turrets, I believe. They don't really look like turrets. Pretty sure they're called turrets.
I had no idea.
I remember
Neither did I,
when I was first learning this, I like tried to memorize all the different enemies, and it threw me for a loop because they look nothing like turrets.
I thought they were called polyps.
No, I think polyps are something else.
Polyps are something. What are the polyps then?
I'm trying to remember. Well, because it's also, they have a different name depending on where you are.
That's true.
And because, you know, why be consistent when...
When you can be Metroid.
Yeah.
Okay, I have found the clarification here. So polyps are actually the projectile shot from the thing in the ground there. And the thing in the ground there is apparently referred to as an air hole, and that's it.
Oh. Air hole. All right.
I like turret better though. We can go with turret.
Huh. Air hole's
that works
crazy.
too. I just call them popcorn either way.
Yeah.
Like,
Popcorn's better.
I don't care what they're actually called. I'm gonna call it what I want to.
Whatever you want to call it.
Air hole. That's gonna bother me. It's such a weird
Same
name.
actually. It's a very un-Metroid name, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, besides that, we're coming up on our next upgrade for the game, a high jump, which is an item which, you know, true to its name, lets us jump significantly higher. I don't know the exact difference between the height, so I'm not going to say it out of fear of being really wrong, but...
I believe it's 4 blocks to 8?
Oh.
No, 7 blocks, I think.
Oh, interesting. Annoying, but...
So that's 3 blocks to your jump, I think?
Sure. That makes sense.
Yeah! I got the D-boost! Yeah!
So interesting note about that, and also general bomb jumps, is it technically... So it's not quite frame perfect, but it kind of is. Namely, when you take damage or you're in a bomb and you're launched from a standing state, then it is technically 3 separate frames where you can have a really big jump, but they're all spaced out, I think, by 1 frame. So I don't really know how you technically classify that, but it's kind of annoying to hit, but kind of cool to see. It's fun. Another note about high jump 2 is because of its increase, it actually lends itself really well to sub-pixel round-off error, meaning that depending on where you jump and what your current sub-pixel is, which is almost effectively random, sometimes you will make a jump, sometimes you won't make a jump, much to the dismay of many a runner.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, though, if you cut your jumps shorter, such that you don't like overshoot a jump and jump too high when you're trying to land, it seems like that gives you a more favorable sub-pixel, in my experience anyway.
Interesting.
Because I've noticed that as I get better at the game, I have less problems with sub-pixels.
Yeah.
Nice jump. Though that can just be complete placebo.
Hey, you never
Or
know.
confirmation bias, or whatever you want to call it.
I like to imagine a world where everything's consistent, so I'm gonna join you in that.
Oh yeah, okay, that sounds good to me.
So here we are on our way to our really sort of out of the way E-tank, which takes a lot of like moving back and forth. We're pretty much going to grab this E-tank and go all the way left. It's you know, in 100% it's nice because you can just wrap out of this area. But since we're doing a more or less glitchless run, we get to do a lot of backtracking.
Yeah, this is, I think, the only category where you go all the way back.
I think that's true. I can't think of another one where you wouldn't.
I think some old routes did have you go back this way. Maybe.
Yeah.
But I could be lying.
Who knows? Who knows? Oh, tragic.
Okay.
But this This is a nice long walk. I think like by tiles, it's 1/3 of the map's width to get from here to the other side.
I would definitely believe that.
That
It
would
is
shock
a
me.
long walk.
And we get to do it again too after we grab a missile.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Not found a good way to come out of that tunnel.
Whoa, that was fun. I also love the gumball room. It's just fun to traverse through, even if it is kind of awkward.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is the only category you do this in, because otherwise I would be a lot more used to going back through that room. Because right now I'm just ad-libbing it every single time. I have not done any strat research.
That's real funny. We're coming up on, well, we have a little bit to go, but I want to preface everyone, because it's admittedly my least favorite item in the game. It's a good old wave beam, which is, it's nice because you can shoot through walls and you can shoot through enemies and you can shoot things on the floor next to your feet, which you can't do for the other beams, but it frustrates me to no end because these breakable blocks here is just so easy to decimate everything and reach the block limit. Sorry, I should explain that first. There's a block limit in terms of how much you can break. I believe it's 10 blocks before you reach it.
That's, as far as I know, that's correct.
Pretty sure it's 10. Just 10 seems like a weird number to me in terms of computer science, but I'm pretty sure it is 10. But it just makes things annoying because once you break 10 blocks, you have to wait for the blocks to respawn, which is too long. Something like 4.5 seconds.
It takes forever. It is like 4 seconds before they'll respawn.
It's real rough. No fun. And then the other thing.
And another really annoying. Oh,
no. Go for it.
Oh yeah. If you are trying to go through a door, you will not be able to get through it. Probably.
Oh yeah.
Because the wave beam is too short. You will open the door as you get right up next to it. So you just bonk every single door.
It's really rough. And wave beam causes more lag too because it has more sort of like entities, so to speak, in its sort of sprites. And if there's already too many enemies on the screen, it just becomes an even worse situation. Not fun.
Cool blue tiles.
And then it's funny too because in the task for 100%, which with death warps and with glitches, the task actually gets long beam first before going into Norfair, so they use long beam and wave beam, which is just atrocious, in my opinion.
I actually really do like wave beam, just like for combat. It just feels really good to spam.
I like the noise of it a lot. It's nice.
Yeah. But everything else, oh, there we go. There's some subpixels. Oh, there's some subpixels again.
Oh,
there we go.
Sometimes
So is it there? See, you just bonk into a door every time you try to do something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry. Another thing I should have mentioned before is we picked up Screw Attack.
Get out of there!
That's just tragic to see. We picked up Screw Attack, which is a nice item because it allows us to be invincible. However, it comes with a few caveats. In order to activate it, you have to be doing a left or right spin jump. If you're the spin jump being triggered by holding left or right before you jump. If you just jump and then press left and right, it won't activate. Screw Attack is nice because it allows us to either go through enemies completely that can't be killed or kill enemies pretty much instantly that can be killed, minus the mini bosses. It comes with a few caveats, namely, which we saw earlier, if you use Screw Attack too close to an enemy, sometimes the enemy will actually damage you before you can start your Screw Attack and you won't actually get that instability. And also, Screw Attack will only work for your height, for values higher than your height value from where you started your jump. So if you Screw Attack from a block, and as soon as you reach below that block you started from in terms of height, Screw Attack will cease to work, and you will not get that nice invincibility. You will just get the spin part of it. It comes with a few also extra parts, namely the Screw Attack damage box counts as another enemy on top of everything else. So if we are already seeing a lot of enemies, usually we like to try to avoid killing them in a different way because it causes just more lag to be in an already really laggy game.
I didn't know it was counted as another enemy.
Yeah.
Or, like, interpreted that way.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what they do it, how they did it, because you have the Samus sprite, which is there, and then in order, they just kind of slap Screw Attack. That's what helps make it flash as an extra entity, so anything that overlaps with that hex box is what's killed by Screw Attack by missiles damage per frame.
The more you know.
That's why it's really, really laggy.
That's not how you want to climb. That's good.
So we have picked up everything that we want to pick up for now. Norfair comes with a little extra special situation where there's so many things that are just kind of out of our way. We actually have to come back to pick them up after we kill the Ridster. So right now we're on our way out of green Norfair, and once we get back into purple, we're pretty much beelining it straight for Ridley's lair, and then we'll do a few cleanup things in there and pick up, or kill, I say pick up. We're going to kill Ridley.
Kill the Ridster, as he said.
Yeah.
No.
Oh no!
Cool.
Another fun fact.
Quirk about this game.
Yeah.
Enemies can follow you into rooms. Why did my missile sprite change there in my inventory? It turned back to yellow.
Oh. That's
interesting.
Does that just happen in, like, transition rooms?
I don't immediately know. I believe so, because I believe it happened right when you transitioned from green Norfair to purple Norfair.
Yeah.
So maybe it is just that sense, but I don't know.
I've just never noticed it, I guess. But anyway, if you haven't played this game before, you probably don't know that there are 2 ice beams in this game. And you can only have 1 beam at a time. So we have to go back and pick up another ice beam before going to Torian. And it just so happens that you can route it in pretty easily in Upper Norfair, where it's located.
Why are there 2 ice beams
Where the
then?
second ice beam is located.
Like, what does the other one do?
I don't know why there's 2. They do the exact same thing. There's just 2 of them.
Oh, okay.
Well, so if you remember the good old classic Nintendo Power, it mentions that the ice beam in Brinstar is actually supposed to be a secret ice beam, and the intended one you're supposed to get is the one in Norfair.
Interesting.
Well, that makes sense. I believe it.
That does sound like a Nintendo Power thing, honestly.
I don't know how true that is in terms of actual development, but that's at least what Nintendo Power says. But welcome to Lower Norfair. Not officially, because Lower Norfair is Green Norfair, but Ridley's Lair, which is conveniently lower than Norfair, I suppose. It's kind of my least favorite place to be because I just don't like the music. The melody is actually sort of the bass, which is harder to hear because it's quieter, and all you hear is like the treble over and over again. But
I think it's a little better.
Technically...
I think it's a little better in Zero Mission, personally.
Is it?
Oh, definitely.
I've never played Zero Mission. I'll take your word for it.
Much better in Zero Mission. It's still not great.
Yeah.
But it's much better.
I think it is the most dangerous place for us to be. We haven't talked about damage too much, mostly because it doesn't entirely matter since we pick up so many E-tanks. But officially, the Ridley's Lair causes 24 hit points of damage. But since we picked up Varia, it cuts that in half, so it's only doing 12. But compared to Norfair, which does 10 pre-Varia, Brinstar does 8 pre-Varia, and then Kraid does 20. But you don't technically need Varia for this. It's just a damage reduction, so there's no extra heat that you have to deal with in other Metroid games.
I love the troll E-tank there with the invisible pit right in front of you. That's classic.
Yeah, they sure liked that a whole lot, so much that they used it in every single game after that. Well, not every single game, but you know, you get the idea. They used it a lot.
There's a whole bunch of troll blocks, especially in Ridley's Lair. Like there's one that Scotty just jumped over. You can see the zoomer S thing kind of climb through it just there.
Oh yeah.
There's a whole bunch sort of all over the map, especially in Ridley's Lair. It's just the whole game's kind of a troll, honestly.
It's the land of tricks, I guess.
Well, I feel like they would have been like transparent tiles if they had transparent tiles.
Yeah. Yeah, because Metroid's kind of like pushed the brim in terms of how much actual stuff it can fit in the ROM of the cartridge, if I recall correctly. But
go in the door.
Enough of that. Here we face our first mini boss, the Ridster. We sort of manipulate in such a way where we have a good pattern, so all of his fireballs sort of go over us. So we can just stand here and spam, and then eventually we'll kill him. Not too much of a challenge. Mini bosses are nice because they give us 75 missiles, and that's a huge increase from what we had before, which at the moment was 0 in our bank. But it's nice. Grab our next E-tank, and then we only have one more missile left, which is really, really out of the way. Not quite.
Really out of the way.
Oh, no.
That's a long walk.
I don't think it's quite as bad as like the E-tank in Norfair, but it's rough. But after that, we're done with Ridley's Lair, and we're off to clean up Norfair.
Might as well ask then, because you mentioned earlier doing the leaderboard sweep of Metroid 1 here, but of all the categories you've run, which one's been your favorite so far?
My favorite so far, I think, has been I'm trying to think about a lot of different categories. I've done like 7 so far, I think. I think Hundo Glitchless I've enjoyed the most, which is just like this category, except you can do up A, which will warp you back to the start of an area.
That sounds gonna be pretty cool for routing.
Yeah, it is. And it's not as difficult as the other 2 Hundo categories. Hundo, just normal Hundo, and Hundo Deathless. Those have gotten some really difficult wraps in them in the past few years that make them kind of a pain to play and try to get PBs in.
That's understandable. I've seen those wraps before in general. They seem very tricky, to say the least.
Yeah. It's kind of sad that they got put into the category, but it's also kind of cool that those wraps are possible. Because it does cut out a lot of backtracking. It's just that they're really hard.
One thing I also want to sort of add on to the Metroid with Warps thing this guy mentioned earlier is an extra routing thing that you can do is so when you die, it sort of changes the global pattern. So on top of routing everything, you also have to route in when you attack Ridley or Kraid, because it'll make the fight significantly easier or harder depending. Kraid less so, but...
Yeah, less so in Hundo. You can just kind of hold into him and keep shooting, and he just dies eventually. And you have enough missiles and health at that point that it really does not matter what he does.
Yeah. But we're done with Ridley's Lair, and we're off to our good friend, the Norfair section, to clean up the leftover missiles.
Norfair Part 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
Norfair 2.
That's right.
We still have a little bit of backtracking to do because all of our missiles are sort of in the upper right-hand side of Norfair. But, yeah.
Except for another set of missiles that is very far out of the way.
Yeah.
As is a trend with this game, there's always like 1 or 2 missiles that are just way out there and takes like a minute or so just to get over to them.
It's funny too because there's another segment also in Norfair where there's just like 3 missiles back to back to back.
Yeah.
It's like they just gave up on where to put them.
Yeah, we've got more missiles to place, but we got nowhere else to put them. Just put all 3 right here.
It's even funnier too because there's a whole section of like Crate Slayer which doesn't have anything in it. It's just there for you to get lost in.
That's probably the worst area in the game. It's like purgatory. You're just wandering around thinking that you're going to get something, and there's just nothing there.
That's so sad.
I don't know why they didn't place a missile there. They placed so many missiles all over Norfair, but I think there's only like 3 in Crate.
3 or 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we got it.
Okay, let's go. So fun to see that. I love that one.
That's at least frame perfect, if not 2 frames.
Yeah.
I think it's 2 frames, but I don't know if they're consecutive frames.
I don't think they are. I believe they're spaced out. By how much, I don't quite remember, but... Fun.
Also just 2 full screens of bomb blocks for some reason.
I think that's because... Well, I don't actually think Norfair... So the way they have things set up is there's certain rooms that belong to certain spots in memory, and Norfair doesn't actually have any like full purple/green block rooms. They're all made that you have a bomb through, or like a bomb tunnel through it. So there's a few floor tunnels where you can bomb through it. You can actually get to them, but because they suffice enough to work, that's how they do it. And I believe that's why they ended up having like just 2 long places to save spots in memory, and they didn't have anything else.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Because
it's really ridiculous.
Those 2 block rooms are right beneath the elevator room.
Yeah.
So well, I guess not the floor you're standing on, but beneath the floor you're standing on are those 2 tunnels.
Yeah. But it's like this block room right here, you could bomb through. It wouldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, it just leads to a dead end.
This was the 3 missile room, by the way. We're going to go upstairs and pick up 2 more. And then we're going to do sort of like a back-end way to get our last sort of different beam, our second ice beam. Sort of, at least by Nintendo Power, the official ice beam.
The real one, I guess. You know, that other one works too.
Yeah.
The other one's just a cheap knockoff ice beam.
It's just a phony.
It's fun too because beams will also sort of respawn. Like we could, if we wanted to, go back and pick up wave beam after we get ice beam too. I don't know why you would want to, but you could.
You really feel like doing iceless Torian. Or you figured out some way to get through Torian without ice beam.
New challenge run just dropped.
Oh my goodness. No one has done that before.
Torian without ice beam?
Yeah.
Isn't that
well,
what you do in low percent?
No one's done it without doing iceless.
Oh,
sorry.
got you. Sure. For those not in the know, there's a glitch you can do which allows Samus to go through with 0 health in Torian, and because Metroids can only subtract health with positive numbers, you can blaze through all the Metroids without actually having to die. It makes Torian very dangerous, but because if you take 1 hit, you're dead. But it allows you to get through Torian without ice beam.
It is a stupid trick.
Yeah. It's used in low percent, though.
It's used in all bosses, and it really makes that category fun.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Fun in quotations in this case, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is a really, really cool challenge.
It's fun to do at least once if you can.
Yeah. It will take you a lot of practice, and you will die a lot.
But this is actually it for Norfair. We're done.
We're finally leaving.
Woo! Yep. Leaving
We
forever.
finally get to go home. Home to Brinstar.
Goodbye, Norfair.
Yeah. So the next place we'll be going is Kraid, which is actually coincidentally right next to the start of the game. I started Brinstar, so we'll be, heading back, as we say. But we'll pick up one item along the way, our E-tank, which is sort of lodged in the ceiling here. Not here, but a few rooms after. And then we'll be on.
It will look a lot like this room.
Yeah. Uses the same tile set, except, different palette.
Oh, okay.
We love a good yellow Brinstar. Or orange, I don't know. Gold.
Gold, I think, is what we usually call it.
Sure.
Something that I don't think we talked about a whole lot is that a lot of getting good in this game. Oh, my missile indicator turned yellow again. I guess it is in those areas. A lot of what it takes to get good in this game is knowing how to deal with lag and trying to do platforming through a lot of lag.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because it can get really rough. We mentioned a whole bunch of things cause lag. Like missiles cause lag, like shots cause lag, enemies cause lag, and sometimes you're in a situation where you kind of have to kill enemies when you're doing lag. It makes platforming absolutely horrendous because it slows down the game. But it also makes just like aiming things difficult. It can screw up like when you shoot a missile and then you have an extra missile on the screen and you're just suffering through even worse lag. Long beam doesn't help. It doesn't really matter for 100% because we pick it up and pretty much never use it except for like one room where it saves like probably, no time because you can just use a missile, but it's there. It's
It saves a missile though.
Saves one missile. Welcome to Kraid's Lair. It has probably what most people usually call the best music in this game.
Absolutely.
Turn your headphones up.
Yeah. We'll be sort of messing around, and are we gonna see fake Kraid?
We should see fake Kraid. If I remember to turn around after I grab this missile. I did not in my PB.
Oh. That's really funny.
I definitely went the wrong way and just had to commit to it because it was too far gone by that point.
So in this game, there are two different types of enemies. You can see these flies here. One's sort of purple, one's orange, yellowish. I don't know. But enemy has like their base one and like a challenge one. And the same is true for bosses. Where the bosses have their own challenge version, but they don't count as like the real boss, hence the fake Kraid thing.
Oh my gosh. The screen kept scrolling up there, so it just lagged the slightest bit. Goodbye, fake Kraid.
Yeah.
Nice? Okay, that's a fake wall. I'm trying to remember which of these are fake walls. I think most of them are.
I think they're all fake walls in this room, right?
I swear one of them. Okay, never mind. One of them is not fake. They're all fake.
That fake Kraid looked like That fake Kraid looked a lot like Arachnus, honestly, from later Metroid games.
Oh yeah,
that's what it reminded me of immediately.
It's a fun little extra fact too. Is there's a faked Ridley coded into the game, but he's not actually placed anywhere.
Okay.
So here's Kraid, real Kraid this time. There's not too much of a strategy besides sort of freezing a spike on him and just blasting missiles through him. We have the tendency to waste a lot because we have so many. But he's already gone. So he gave us our 75 missiles, and now I believe there's only 2 missiles and an E-tank left, and then we're kind of done with the item pickup.
And weirdly, I don't really understand this. If you kill fake Kraid, or if you go through fake Kraid's room, I'm not sure what causes it, Kraid's pattern changes very slightly.
Interesting.
So if you're used to fighting Kraid in 100% or 100% deathless, it will be very slightly different.
Interesting. What's the difference, if you don't mind me asking?
like he's just positioned differently, or he shoots at different times. I haven't fully looked into it, but it is definitely different.
Huh. Well, you know, it's kind of funny.
Oh, that's really cool.
Oh, you rip.
That's also really cool.
Good old lava. One thing it's important to note is that you can actually get like a full jump out of lava if you start it early enough. Before the sinkage starts to apply, you can get a bigger sort of, not boost isn't the right word, but it allows you to sort of get out of the lava much easier than if you start sinking first.
Yeah, lava and
not
lava is just really weird in this game. The physics are not consistent at all.
I say lava. I guess it's more like cheese and Kraid's layer.
Okay, I just wasn't holding left. I'm really smart. I did that.
Oh
my god. Please. See, it's not hard. I'm just bad.
Sometimes this game is just not your friend, though.
Yeah, there's a brief period at some point during a bomb jump where you cannot move left or right. You are locked into whatever vertical position, or sorry, whatever horizontal position you were in for like a second or like half a second. It is weird, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah, the bombs themselves are pretty janky. Like the bomb blast will override any damage taken to. So if you are inside a bomb radius while a bomb is going off and there's an enemy nearby, you won't actually take damage because the bomb blast will take precedent. It allows you to do some weird sort of clips through enemies. But if you're still in the enemy when it wears off, then you take damage. And here we go. That was our last missile. The only item left to pick up is our good friend Longbeam. Best beam, if I may. But after that, we're going to do a straight shot to Torian, which coincidentally Longbeam's on the way to, and then we'll be entering sort of our end game.
Oh yeah, doors cause lag too, so if you open them when there's a lot of enemies on the screen, it can decrease lag. You'll see that again in Torian.
Sometimes if you go fast enough on climbs, you can get doors to spawn inside walls too.
That's the fun one. Yeah, when they're not supposed to be.
Wild.
If you do get to them, they don't count as screen transitions though, which is a little sad.
Yeah, they're just empty. They're just the shell of the door. Nice spin jump.
Sometimes NES games just held together duct tape and glue, and also that's why we like them too.
That is so true.
It's a fantastic game.
Long beam time. Fred's favorite beam for some unknown reason.
I love it. It holds a special place in my heart.
It holds a special place in my heart too. The very bottom.
Ooh.
I mean, it allows us to save exactly one missile when we're opening the bridge to Torian.
Look at that fire rate. Oh my gosh.
You can
3 shots per minute.
You really see the fact that you can only have 3 shots. It's harder to see when you don't have long beam. But
yeah, it still does take effect when you have short beam.
Yeah.
It's just you tend to shoot. Your shot tends to disappear before you have the chance to fire 3 times.
We're coming up in the fun bridge room, as it's named, because it makes a bridge to Torian. Normally, you can skip it. That's what happens in any percent, but in 100%, obviously, we kill Ridley and Kraid, so we can just do it. And here's where we save that missile. Normally, you wouldn't be able to reach Ridley, but we can just hit him from here. So that's our missile saved. That's Longbeam's contribution to the run.
Thank you, Longbeam.
We'd be at 102 right now, otherwise. But
we'd be at 100 flat otherwise.
Oh yeah, you're right. So here's Torian, where the famous Metroids are. We've done this entire game without seeing a Metroid until now. A solid,
And we're gonna ignore them.
Yep. We don't need to farm. We're pretty much good to go. There's a few missile doors here, but the total count needed in general for the Mother Brain fight is, so there's 5 Zebatites, and each requiring at least 8 missiles to break through. Sometimes they respawn if you wait too long to shoot them, but they take 8 missiles. Mother Brain herself takes 32 missiles to kill, plus 1 for the glass, totaling a total of 73 missiles. But as you can see, even after this next red door, we'll still have enough, and we'll be able to sort of blaze on through, assuming that we don't run out. We shouldn't.
With 8 extra, I sure hope I don't run out.
Yeah.
Oh, what am I doing?
Oh.
I'm just gonna ignore that. Pretend that didn't happen.
What happened?
Mother Brain's fight's fun. There's a lot of stuff happening. There's 3 Brinkas that are constantly being shot at you from the turrets, plus extra turrets which are shooting green shots at you. So we make use of a lot of sort of lateral direction strategies and also unmorph jumps to get closer to shoot our missiles a little faster. Lots going on. Sometimes there's actually so much stuff happening on the screen that some of the turrets don't shoot. You can usually see it too when there's 2 green shots and the other one tries to fire but can't. But Scotty's making quick work of this. It's real refreshing to see this done, especially fast, just because it looks so smooth. Here's Mother Brain.
She doesn't do much. Nice jump.
In a few categories, you actually can't make it back from that gap without high jump, so you either have to freeze a Rinka or die.
Usually the latter.
Yeah. But this is it. There's no sort of redux fight as there is in Super. We just kind of kill Mother Brain, and then we have 100 or 1,000 seconds to get out. That's not true, I think. It's slightly less than that, but
No.
we don't need that much time. There's only I think 6 iterations of this before we reach the end, and then we're pretty much gonna be done with the entire game.
Time is when I press up on the final elevator. And time.
GG.
GG's.
Did we get the good ending?
I sure hope so.
I mean,
If I didn't, something is terribly wrong. I must have fallen asleep.
I love his end screen text so much.
yeah,
Very good.
you have fulfilled your mission.
Very rarely, extra text will pop up on screen. That would normally be in the credits, so sometimes it'll say produced by Gunpei Yokoi, right across Samus. It's really funny.
That's awesome.
This game is really broken. Even when you're not playing the game, it's broken.
Definitely a duct taping glue game, that's for sure.
Metroid.
Yeah, a lot.
Very ahead of its
duct tape
time in a
glue.
lot of ways. Maybe too ahead of its time sometimes. But yeah.
It tried to be ahead of its time.
Yeah, where can the good people follow you?
Twitch.tv/cscottyw. If you really feel like it. If this run somehow convinced you.
I can convince them too. I mean, you have the record of a
go
lot of
ahead.
Metroid games out there. So if y'all like Metroid Speedrunning in general, Sky is a must-follow person for sure.
Thank you. I try not to brag
There you
on
go, I got
myself
you.
too much. I've got other people to do that for me.
Hey, someone's gotta do it a little bit.
I appreciate
I
it.
believe he's going for the Nestroid leaderboard sweep too.
I'm real close. I've got 2 more categories to go. There's 9 categories on the main leaderboard, and I've got all but 2 of them now.
Which 2 remaining?
I've still got any percent deathless and any percent remaining, which are I don't know how long deathless is going to take, but any percent, that's gonna take a while. Even though I've only got 2 seconds to save, but those 2 seconds are really hard to shave off.
Mm-hmm.
because Mother Brain really sucks, and RNG at Metroids really sucks.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That being said, though, thanks for running Metroid for us. We'll be back in just a little bit, everybody, with something slightly different, but in a similar vein. We got Mega Man X 100% with Tea Tree. So we'll see y'all in just a little bit. Welcome back to Do All the Things, everybody. The Hotfix show about Herm's Speedruns and completionist categories in general. We have something a little different instead. We got a Metroid night in general, but instead we have a little break from it just to give y'all another cool, very fast retro game speedrun. We got Mega Man X 100% with a Tea Tree right here, and it's gonna be very cool. It's a classic speedrun to say the least, and my teacher's pretty good at it. So let's get into it. Little Tea Tree, how you doing tonight?
Hey, thanks, Jessa. I'm doing all right. Giving people the opportunity to listen to the staff roll from Rockman X here. It's the version we're going to be playing because you probably won't hear it during the run itself. We don't have quite that long to go into the credits, but yeah, this is Rockman X or Mega Man X, one of the all-time greats as far as the kind of retro speedruns, as far as SNES library of games. Really just a towering achievement. We'll have plenty of opportunity to talk about throughout the run. So without too much further ado, just want to make note that I am an R button dasher, and we'll go ahead and get the run started. The run's going to start as soon as X fires his buster shot across the stop. I'm not really going to be able to give you a good 3, 2, 1 countdown because if you do that countdown once the menu has already appeared, you'll get sent back to the pre-rendered cutscene before you finish. So whenever time is ready, I'm just going to go ahead and start. You actually save a little bit of time right off the top by holding down the start button as you start Central Highway here, the first Mega Man X game with a full introductory stage, because the differences between classic Mega Man and X, they were still making classic Mega Man games at this time, but they really wanted to give you an idea of what X is about, so you have this centralized stage with relatively little up and down platforming to give you an idea of like, hey, here's how X moves, here's how you can fire, you have your charge shots now that kind of come over in a way analogous to, but not entirely similar to the classic X games. And then now you have mini bosses, guys that might have health bars, but maybe they don't, giving a good opportunity to show what about the X games are just a little bit different. You may already notice a little bit about the way I'm moving around levels and what enemies I am and am not defeating is towards an end that will become only more important throughout the run, which is we are trying to reduce lag. I don't want those bees to do the attack where they fire out extra enemies. There's going to be a section up here where we're doing some light platforming where at any point, ideally, I wouldn't like to drop any of these. So if I jump to the very edge here, they don't drop off. But I don't want to do anything where I drop multiple platforms at once because that will slow the game down. And while you don't lose a ton of time each time that happens, you do bleed a little bit here, a little bit there, etc. Speaking of bleeding just a little bit, I'm actually going to take a little bit of purposeful damage while setting up an attempt at a rather difficult trick. Nope, that's not going to work. All right, we're going to redo part of the intro stage. So while I go ahead and get back, while I was trying to do what is called task cars, where you bring both of those cars down to the next section of the stage, if you have any announcements you need to tell the people about, Mr. Shaston, now would be a perfect time.
I can definitely do that for sure. I can tell you all about the GDQ. That's coming up very, very soon here. Seems like Quick 2026 will be live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania from January 4th to the 10th. Registration is available now through the event, so be sure to register if you want to experience the event in person. Visit gq.gg for more info. Shrimple is that. And hey, if y'all want to appear on GDQ Hotfix in the future as well, you can also, we're accepting submissions for the winter season, this season right here. So if you got a run you'd like to showcase on the channel, send it our way at gq.gg/submit/Hotfix. Or type exclamation mark, submit in chat for more details.
Yeah, not only are both Shasta and myself going to be there at AGDQ 2026, we're actually going to be roommates, so.
Yep.
Good chance you see one or both of us around at some points.
Yep, and I got my run also on Monday. You'll see me for that too.
Rude.
Shasta Cribbin Forgotten Land.
I'll be doing a variety of things, including hosting, taking place in the Super Mario 64 70-star relay, and helping run the hotfix table.
Which star are you doing for that?
I am doing the slide in Cool Cool Mountain. So if I do it right and I hop off the side of the slide, it's like 6 inputs in about 10 seconds. If not, then I take the slide all the way down to the bottom and use the regular shortcut.
I'm doing the top of the mountain star in Talta Mountain personally. I got a whole story behind it, but that's a story for another time.
Very cool. And this is about as much story as you get in a Mega Man, the early Mega Man games. This is Zero, who's shown up to say, X, you've just come out of deep sleep. You're not as strong as I am, but you have the ability to improve in a way that most Maverick Hunters don't. So maybe someday you will be as strong as I am. And that'll be in about 35, 40 minutes. The one thing I want to do, Shasta, is a vibe check on you. So this boss's name in the Japanese version is Icy Penguigo, as opposed to Chill Penguin. Which do you like better?
I think definitely Chill Penguin personally, but Icy Penguigo is funny. Chill Penguin just makes sense though. It's very straightforward. Even just looks wise, it looks like a very chill penguin itself. Now, I don't know, I've never actually played Mega Man X before, but I've seen this run many, many times. I do know that you actually go here because it's where you get the dash, funnily enough, right?
Yeah, there's a reason why we always go here first. You're basically not playing the real Mega Man X until you clear this stage and get the first of the overall upgrade capsules, the leg part. There are, if you've ever played this game on retro achievements, there is an achievement for doing the entire game and coming to this level last.
Oh, God.
It does not sound like something I would enjoy.
Yeah, I feel like most people wouldn't enjoy that one, but that's the reason why it's achievement, I guess.
Yeah. There was something I was trying to do on the slopes coming up here. I just did it at the end coming into the upgrade capsule here, where if you are on a slope going upwards and you do a very quick 1 to 2 frame turnaround and then jump, you actually get more height and speed on your jump than you normally would. So that got us to this capsule just a few frames faster. Going up the climb just before, it also saves you 2 to 3 seconds if you do all of those jumps properly. Couple of carefully timed jumps here to cut out most of dealing with enemies. There it is. We did a turnaround jump to get on top of that rather than having to jump off of it. Again, so many of the time saves in this game are just tiny little movement optimizations and being intimately familiar with how X and how the overall mechanics of the game move. And also getting the controller to play nice when you're asking it to do lots of inputs in a game that has the limitations of 16-bit. Getting it to do multiple inputs at a time, especially later on in the game, as you'll see with moving platforms, is quite difficult. On into our first boss, Chill Penguin. This is a boss where you want to see as few of these slides as possible because he is completely invulnerable during them. So naturally, he's decided to grace his appearance on Hotfix with as many slides as he can reasonably get away with.
Of course he is.
I am choosing to mostly use charge shots to kind of simplify because this is a bit of a live defrost run for me. Defrost, not intended. I really meant to say derust, and yet here we are. What can you say?
Right.
The ham comes out without me ever meaning to.
It's just natural, I guess.
Yeah, the second half of that fight went a lot better than the first half. But yeah, it's kind of, as is in the case with most of the bosses early on where we don't have our power-ups, it's just strike with, in particular, a dashing shot or a dashing lemon, if that's your flavor of how you see those. Because a dashing shot does 2 damage in most circumstances instead of 1 like a standard standing shot does. So there's going to be a lot of circumstances throughout the run where we are dashing and firing a shot because it does more damage. Chat kept count for me 6 slides. Yeah, a little brutal.
Mm-hmm. On the Storm Eagle Ed, I guess. That's her name. Ed,
Storm Eagleed. Which, and the original is Storm Eagle, or the English rather. This is the original.
Now we get their first name.
I kind of like saying Eagleed. Like, that definitely sounds cool. But it also kind of sounds a little bit like, if you're just writing down cool guy sounding names and you're Trapper Keeper in 6th grade. All right. Up on into our first upgrade that isn't a leg capsule. There'll be many of these throughout the... Actually, no, we got 2 already. We got a heart tank and we got that E-tank. E-tanks give you additional health that you can bank if you get more health while you already have full health. That refills those E-tanks, and then you can cash them in later if you need an emergency health recharge. And then there are heart tanks, which, as you may have noticed already, increase X's maximum health, no capsule toe. That's a shame. We'll get another chance for that later. There are two circumstances throughout the game where if you jump into a rising upgrade capsule, you can land on top of it and not have to jump X's maximum and current health, for that matter, by 2. So that is the helmet upgrade. Kind of the least consequential in terms of general gameplay, but actually one of the most consequential in terms of the speedrun, because getting the helmet capsule early allows us to get the arm capsule early as well. We are doing a version of the run that is called waterless. I am really not capable of doing iceless in a full run. I understand that's what many people are expecting, but you can really do. I've only really played this game seriously for 3 or 4 months, and then I haven't played it super recently. So when Shasta said, hey, I'm hoping somebody can help me fill out my episode, I'm like, I'm happy to derust, but it is kind of going to be a live derust. So with that understanding, I'm doing kind of akin to my own show on the GDQ Hotfix out of the box. I'm doing a version of this run that is much more immediately accessible. I'm not doing some of the hardest strats, and you'd be surprised how high on the leaderboards you can get doing even the beginner-friendly version called Waterful, or doing the expected boss order. We're gonna get 1 extra dash here, and we're not gonna defeat him off the side, which we would have liked, because these explosions, again, we're working kind of at the limits of 16-bit or early on in the SNES's lifespan. This is a 1990 game, if I remember right. And so even with the expansion chip built into the game, the explosions and other sprites do cause some slowdown by hitting the SNES's built-in sprite limit. But yeah, I'm trying to do what is generally a very accessible version of this run. So I don't do iceless, which is multiple pixel perfect and frame perfect setups to pull off, but we'll get a chance to talk about it in a little bit. On into Flame Mammoth stage, also seen as Burnin' Newmander. Shasta, what do you say?
I like that one more for sure.
Okay. I thought I'd get you on at least one of the Japanese boss names.
Oh, you give me on a few of them for sure, no doubt.
All right,
I do like me some funny exciting names for sure.
You got time for an announcement here if you want one. We just kind of did an easier version of this setup to use the helmet to get into the arm part upgrade.
Yeah, I can tell you all about the Discord for Games Done Quick here. If you're looking to get more involved with the GDQ community overall, join the official Games Done Quick Discord and add the Hotfix world to stay in the loop on upcoming events, chat with staff, and more. Use exclamation mark Discord and Twitch chat for invites and more info. A lot of us are also in there, just talk about our shows and all that good stuff.
Oh yeah,
so,
you'll absolutely catch me hanging out there all the time. I'm still mod squad till I die. I started volunteering with Games Done Quick as a mod and a host. This is the online year, so you can do both at the same time. But yeah, the mods are great people. You may run into one or more of the staff members at any given time. Certainly there are a lot of us around who like to hang out in Discord, whether they are our own as part of our DS destruction project and just hanging out with your awesome fans.
Yeah, we had a call last night while I was doing the Fusion Rando actually in my own Discord. It was a lot of fun. Shall be doing after my show is the Night for Parallel Universe, so stick around for that.
True. All right, I intentionally charged a little late going out of that series of pipes and into this because I actually don't want to have a fully charged shot. It does the same amount of damage to a boss and it just moves slower, so the bosses have a good chance of juking a completely charged shot as opposed to a standard charge. We're going to use Storm Eagle's Tornado because Flame Mammoth's hitbox is so large here that as long as he's not up against the wall, which unfortunately he was most of that fight, as long as he's not up against the wall, the tornado will double hit him. So we managed to defeat him with him being at least partially off of the screen, which got rid of that slowdown. But that's going to be a running theme through many bosses. It isn't something you can control for in every case, but we try to do so whenever we can.
All right, this is the hard one for me. It's Boomer Quanger in English. That's a great name. It's that same thing here too. Okay, well, there we go.
Yeah, that's the one they kind of couldn't figure out a change for.
Yeah.
This is
It's a fantastic name. You can't improve on perfection.
True. And a fantastic tune.
Agreed.
And a nice little run up the middle. That
Very
one,
nice
like,
platforming there.
you'd be surprised how tight that cycle is. Although once you start speedrunning this game, maybe you wouldn't. Didn't mean to take the extra poke. The first one up and over was nice, but now that we have the ability to charge weapons, we can also do cool stuff like that. Taking more damage than I would like to. Hey, thank you. Game Herbie complaining.
Nice.
Sometimes you do that and you just like hope the universe will hear you.
Thank you, game.
There we go. I think I'm tucked in nice and tight. I might just take the 1 damage from this enemy. Yeah, that's fine. I actually didn't have the charge shot ready in time, so I'll take the enemy to hit me far enough to the right that I don't have to worry about hitting my head on that spike, because that's an instant death. Part of me wanted to do the swag strat for the people, because the very top of the spikes on the right-hand side on that wall there are actually a platform instead of spikes. So if you hit them at just the right angle, you don't take damage, and you can just kind of hop off them and keep going. But maybe not marathon safe, especially when I don't have the best strat down for this upcoming boss. Or this corridor, apparently. I really let this cycle get away from me. There we go. We'll just hang out. All right, so Aceless happens right here. If you don't have the charged arm piece, and I'm using the wrong weapon. If you don't have the charged arm piece, you have to do a series of jumps up that wall to get this. The fully intended method is actually to use the boss's weapon from this same stage and come back and get it. That is like the basic strat, but nobody wants to do that. Ain't nobody got time for stage revisits. So there are a couple of methods that don't require stage revisits. Sometimes they require putting up with lots of lag. I had just a few frames less of charge than I thought I did. I would have destroyed that wall crawler in 1 hit. Instead, I could have took a couple extra hits that I would have really liked to have left for this boss. Because this boss is fully optimized speedrun strat. Basically involves you playing chicken with him for almost the entire fight. You get him to do that head down move over and over and over and jump just above it. I do not have the timing down for that. So instead, what I'm going to do is just kind of sweep the floor here. I'm going to try to get him into a state where he's sliding around, shoot charge shots at him, and not lose the rest of my health. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
If you saw something there, no, you didn't.
I didn't see anything. What?
That's fine. I'm taking the death anyway. That's the right thing to do there. Yeah.
Hard boss for sure. But no one said Mega Man bosses are easy. That's all I know.
No, this one isn't easy, no matter what. Yeah, so I do play on a version of the game that allows for save states, and I thought I unbound that so I wouldn't have to worry about it, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, chat saying I was about to save 30 minutes on the run. No, I'm going to play the run as intended.
No, we need everything else. It's 100%. We can't just go straight to the final boss. That's 80%.
That's true. That's true. I haven't collected them. It wouldn't count. It wouldn't be right.
We gotta get the Hadouken. It's important.
Which naturally you can't even use on the final boss.
Yeah, unfortunately. I think it's a Sting Chameleon normally.
Yes.
What's it here? Sting Chameleon?
Sting Chameleon. Yeah.
That sounds like it's Portuguese, and I love that.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm here for it. It's kind of the same kind of thing I like out of like Eagleed. They're like they're non-traditional vowel sounds for the English language, which, you know, it makes sense because these aren't supposed to be English names.
Yeah.
All right, into another mini boss here. This one is guarding the chest piece. It's going to do a combination of dashing shots and boomerangs here to drain its health just as quickly as possible. We're not super worried about the damage we take here, much as I would like to not take any. But we don't want to use too much weapon energy. That'll work fine. No capsule toe there either. The frames, Duke, the frames! All right, and on into the hardest remaining trick in the run. This is waterless. I'm going to cross this gap, not having completed the launch octopus stage. I'm going to use the US name so you can see the Japanese name for yourself later.
Thank you.
Yeah, my intent here is to make the charged ice sled and then jump off it at the very end. Like, there is, that one actually has a decent little range of like variation of frames where you can get it, but most of them look like you're not going to hit. Iceless is like that, but instead of with your foot, it's with X's head. Literally only X's head is in range to make contact with a platform, and yet he just kind of swoops himself up and over.
Sheesh. Yeah, that scared me a lot.
Understandable. It scares me too every time I do it.
Also,
but it's surprisingly forgiving, all things considered. You just have to, like, the version of it I do, I actually use, instead of using the dash button, I use the right button to kind of use the, like, push twice to dash, which is one of the options. So that's more consistent as far as getting to do the dash without having to move any on the platform. So I can stand at the very far edge of the platform, giving me every pixel possible forward in that giant chasm. Yeah, speedrun's going pretty decent. A few unforced errors on my part, but thank you for asking. On into Stink Chameleon.
Stinky-millie-ow.
Yes. Sorry. Thank you. The most pattern-rific boss. You fire a boomerang putter at the very beginning, and then you watch him bounce, and you catch him on the comebacker every time. Let's just finish right in the center there, which saves a maximum amount of time, because otherwise X would have to walk over to the center before he could teleport out.
Simple as that, I guess.
Indeed. And again, as I've said before, I'm not doing too many of the hardest strats this game has to offer, so we won't actually see the quick kill on Stink Chameleon later, because that involves another multi-frame perfect trick that also involves pause buffering. This is Spark Mandrill, or originally Spark Mandriller. A little more descriptive as to what he does, more so than what he is. Don't worry about this electric shooter, he's not real. I'll explain in a second. Collecting an E-tank using the boomerang cutter. And yeah, that guy's gone.
He's gone.
Like he never existed in the first place. Now that we have Stink Chameleon's weapon, we're going to spend a lot of time across several levels using the charge version of that, which actually makes you momentarily invulnerable. The trade-off is that you can only use his weapon while you're doing it. Okay, good. I went the right way around the horn to charge up my weapons. That's another surprisingly difficult thing to optimize for in the moment. I liken it to using a washer and dryer to try and remember what cycle you need to put your clothes in for, but the markings on the washer and dryer are written in a language that you don't speak. So you kind of just have to remember how many twists to turn each time you need something out of it.
Yeah.
Over, away. Hey, that was not going super well in practice. Happy to get a first time on a little something. It is technically possible to leap over those platforms and over the giant missile turtle, but I will be a little safe instead. Wait for this to wear off so I can get my charge going on. I have a level 2 charge ready going into the boss. Because again, this is another one of those bosses where the damage, the weakness they have isn't quite divisible with how much health they have. So you give them one extra shot, and then the entire rest of this boss fight is kind of shooting fadeaway jumpers and hoping that whatever pattern he does makes him vulnerable again right when you go to shoot at him. not amazing, but not terrible either. We got to do that, the intended strat where he became vulnerable in the path of the gun, of the shotgun ice once. So that's not nothing.
I love the little like flex he does whenever he gets out of the ice too. It's very
Yeah. Some of the X series in particular, when you hit a boss with their weaknesses, some of the extra animations you get are just really super charming. There's actually a couple of secret interactions in this game that don't involve boss weakness weapons per se, but you can cut off Flame Mammoth's trunk using Boomerang Cutter and a few other cute little things like that.
Armor Armarge, by the way.
Yep, originally Armor Armadillo. All right, that's a good enough setup. I just got to get down here real quick.
I just had the
use the
cursed thought
invulnerable.
sorry, I had the cursed thought of like Marge Simpson saying Mega Man's name now.
Yeah. I can't say I haven't thought of it when seeing the name. Yeah, so I was navigating using this Sting Chameleon invulnerability while being flung from that first minecart, and I did it in just an angle that gave me enough distance to get behind that crusher in time to get the E-tank and get back out. That is a situation where if you are too late, you will either have to choose to take the hit from the body or very possibly get crushed by the mechanism on the front, because that's an instant kill. The body you can take damage, regular contact damage from. The spike pit or the spike roller, that's death. All right, another classic piece of Armor Armadillo tech is trying to pick the right times to jump. You want to keep as few of those birds spawning as possible. I went the wrong way around the weapon wheel. I want to have one of these charged going in because this is Armored Armadillo or Armored Armage's weakness. And if you let go of one right at the start of the fight, you get a free hit. Got appreciating the music, doing their cat jams in the chat. I cannot disagree with you, even in the slightest. Ooh, nice. A bounce from the wall immediately. Okay.
Doesn't matter what song is in the soundtrack, it's all bangers, that's for sure.
Yeah. It's really hard to argue which might be anybody's favorite. It might come down to which level you associate it with, or positive feelings there, because the soundtrack is really good. All right, yeah, we got lucky with Armored Armadillo not bouncing around after that initial hit. A little unlucky with him choosing to take off and do more bouncing afterwards. But once the shell is broken, Armadillo remains vulnerable even when bouncing around further. On to the last of our 8 Robot Master stages, Launch Octopus, the one we would have had to do earlier to fill in that chasm in Sting Chameleon stage otherwise.
Launcher Octopold.
Yes, one of the more different ones. Like, you get the idea, but the flavor is certainly different.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I would have loved to grab that. One of the things I certainly like to do if I can help it, being a newer and less experienced runner, is have E-tanks full for things I might need to do later on, especially once you get the Hadoken, because the Hadoken can only be fired if X is at full health. So if you take a careless little hit here or there, you might need to burn one of those E-tanks. That's fine. I was trying to go right in between all those fish, but I'd rather hit one, because the other thing that can happen to you is you can get eaten by a fish, and then you basically have to flail your way out of the fish's belly. So that's not super fun.
I was trying to think of one of my favorite like Mega Man Robot Master games in general, and the one I thought of was Mega Man 03 Years Glacier Tank.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I can see it.
Also, that game is amazing. That's my favorite Mega Man game, I think.
Chad, if you have your favorite Maverick, irregular, whatever you want to call them, names, feel free to put them in the chat. I want to see if anybody's repping X5.
I'd love to see
Duff McWhalen. All of the Guns N' Roses names.
Duff McWhalen, I forgot about that one too.
Right. We use the Charge Storm Eagle to create a vertical pillar that defeated each of those snake mini bosses before they could do anything to us. So that's a very easy time save to try for yourself once you know where they are. On into Launch Octopus. Another chance to get lucky or unlucky. That is unlucky. Every one of these loses us about 2.5 seconds. I generally find that staying closer to him gives him less opportunity to do this, but to be honest, I'm not sure if there actually is a pattern or if it's just get lucky. That'll certainly do.
Oh, Burble Heckalod. That's the that's the frog from Mega Man 2. Yeah, that's a great one too.
I was going to say, is that what happens when you drink too much carbonated beverages?
That is
Burble
well,
Heckalod.
I do. Yeah. I remember them because they go like "Kill, kill, kill, kill," over and over again whenever they
Classic.
like
Yeah,
start
yeah,
the fight. It's so good.
Shout outs also to the Karatans from Metal Gear Solid 3.
Indeed, indeed.
All right, a quick restop off at Chill Penguin or Icy Penguigo's stage. Now that we can dash through it, this opening section goes by a lot faster. I did just give myself an extra second with those bats to try to carry on more health for later. But yeah, the rest of this really is just use invulnerability. Don't worry about anything. Get to the heart tank that you need, which is another 20 or 30 seconds away as fast as possible. Yeah, even the damage doesn't matter if we're honest.
Chad's also mentioning another one, Bamboo Pandemonium, which I've never heard before because they're from Mega Man X8. So I've actually never seen that game, I think.
To be honest, there's a Mega Man roguelike that I play. I saw somebody ask the question earlier, and I only just thought of it now, asking if I run a lot of Mega Man games. It's really just this and a couple of Mega Man X styled roguelikes called 20XX and 30XX.
If I recall correctly, you ran 30XX for a previous GDQ, right?
I did. It was my first run on the stage at AGDQ 2024.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, was it Bamboo Pandemonium sounds like a boss name from 30XX, so that's why I brought that up.
Also, Spike Rose Red from Mega Man X5, also mentioned in the chat.
Nice, good call.
Very good one.
Nobody with Blaze Heatniks? Yeah, nobody wants to burn it to the ground?
What's that?
Is that the boss that has that quote? Flame Heinard, thank you. Yes, you were correct. I'm quite certain you're correct now that I hear the name.
Burn the ground!
And then, yeah, we're going to be here for a little bit because we need to lose an appropriate number of lives. I believe it's 4. And on the 5th time through the second half of the stage here, there'll be a little secret waiting for us as a thank you for collecting everything else in the game.
Also mentioned Chaz Infinity Maginian, I think is how you say that.
Yeah, the peacock from 4. I think that's... No, is Snail? It's definitely X4.
I'm not sure what it's supposed to be, but it's from X6 actually, apparently.
Oh, 6. Okay. What am I thinking of? Crystal Mard?
Maybe. I can't tell what it's supposed to be, though, to be honest.
I think Infinity Maginian is supposed to be a butterfly.
Really?
Am I mistaken? You have pictures pulled up right now, I imagine, based on the way you're commenting on it.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah, based loosely on a wire flea or a Daphnia?
Water flea. Okay, thank you.
Interesting. There's a lot of really good Mega Man just passes in general. Like, I love all the names for all of them. Yeah, another one, Chad. Vanishing Gunguru. Amazing. From Mega Man X7, it looks like. It's a kangaroo.
I would hope so.
Yeah, with that name especially.
Ooh, a free bonus life. That's neat. Just in case my life counter was off. And there's a reason I went and got the extra life in Storm Eagle at the beginning of the run, just in case. But having the extra life right there makes it so I don't have to worry about anything, which is nice. You do want to dash off of that platform every time because dashing and then falling, you have a lot more vertical freedom, or horizontal rather. You move horizontally much faster. So that's why I make sure to do that, because otherwise you have to stick to that little overhang platform to not get smacked by the spikes. Nice high jump. There we go. Hey, look, it's Dr. Light cosplaying as Ryu. He says, we're really cool. We're really great. Thank you for getting everything in the game. Here's a special gift. And like explicitly mentioned earlier, not alluded to, it is the Hadoken. It's performed exactly like it would be in Street Fighter. You have all of the same kind of ways to trigger it. It is down, quarter circle, forward, and shoot. Or you can do kind of the piano input to start with forward and then go from there. Either will work. on into the Sigma Fortress stages. We are going to purposefully take lots of damage as we quickly make our way through here.
Sorry, I got one more name here real quickly. We have currently in chat someone just called Metal Shark Player for Mega Man X6.
Yes.
That is just their name straight up.
That's six?
Funny.
Okay.
Yeah, X6.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you why Shark Player, but yes, I did remember that name.
I've learned that a lot of the Mega Man X series just has a lot of funny sounding names.
Look, another bonus life, why not? And then we're going to slide down this wall here because this basically gives away all of X's iframes. So we're draining our health as quickly as possible for something we'll set up in just a second here. All right, that's part one. This is a Rockman X exclusive trick. Part two, we've left the stage before this text box goes all the way away. And part three, we fire a rolling shield. This makes it so that a couple of text boxes that would have triggered earlier in the previous two rooms all happen concurrently now. Vile should be talking right now, which is why that Zero sprite turned Vile colored. And we also made sure our health was low so that instead of trying to attack us, Vile would just immediately go into this phase. This is one of those circumstances where I may need my E-Tank, so let's see. No, got the timing right. Happy to see that. Yeah, that's a couple of frames. And that's the easiest setup that I find when you're still learning the game is literally just don't move when you start and then fire when he's about 3/4 of the way overhead. Yes, Chad is right that I did get surprisingly close to soft locking the game and how I executed that trick, but if it works, it works.
Mm-hmm. Nah, you're fine, though.
Little up and over this enemy. And this means so that the rest of this very long hallway full of enemies that can knock you down and knock you back is now completely inconsequential because I just invulnerability through it. I just needed that first little leap over the enemy with the ball and chain. And on into boss refights. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of this. It's not going to be exclusively this because I can't do the setup for that on Sting Chameleon. But yeah, the rest of this is just making sure I can do the Hadoken move motion real good.
Take a bonus shot forward.
Quick little bonus shot there to take out some extra enemies to keep the game from slowing down. I'm going to have a charge shot ready just in case the spider boss has an extra surprise for us. They do not. And it's a simple pattern. Oh, too late. That's on me. There's our spiders. Okay, I was not paying full attention there because I was really just worried about not getting hit, but that worked out about as well as it could have. Yeah, that boss ultimately comes down to how fast can you read those patterns on the back wall. The last time I ran this in a no reset fashion, I got the second best pattern, which is it starts all the way on the right and only moves once total, which is really funny. All right, while I'm making my way up to some more bosses, Shasta, anything you want to let the people know?
Yeah, I can let them know something. I can tell you all about Frame Fatales, for instance. Frame Fatales is a community of women and femmes who share a passion for speedrunning, gaming, and charity. In addition to their two flagship events, there's activities year-round in their community Discord, like Game of the Month and randomizer events. Type !FF in chat to learn more and get involved yourself.
Heck yeah. I am a big Fatales fan.
Same here. I'm also a big fan of Black and the Flash as well. Black and the Flash is a community that uplifts and connects Black speedrunners of all levels, hosting special events throughout the year to raise money for charity and celebrate Black voices in the speedrunning scene. Learn more at gq.gg/BAF or use !BAF in Twitch chat to learn more. And they have an upcoming event too as well. Like, I think it's on not this upcoming weekend, but the next weekend, if I recall.
Yeah, speeding through the holidays, I think it's December 28th and 29th.
Yep. There we go. Let's put it in chat. Thank you, mods.
All right. 1, 2, 3 and a half dashes. We do the half dash in case he stops his wings early because we don't want to run into him. That'll do nicely. I'm a little low on chameleon juice compared to where I'd like to be. Guess it's weapon energy, but go with me here. All right, here's hoping I get at least one Hadoken on Rang to Bang to here. That would be lovely as far as energy conservation. 27th and 28th. Thank you, Ray. That's not going to do it. That's also not going to do it. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a quick heal just in case any eyeballs want to come to me, which they don't. Wow, nasty. I haven't seen luck this bad in a long time.
Always in there, though, I swear.
I'll be honest, I don't remember if these have any backup weaknesses.
Nice. Good
There
catch.
we go. Yeah, it was a battle of attrition at that point. But chat will remember the backup for this, but I just didn't. And that's on me. Well, the thing is, I got to practice in the couple of days since you asked me. The last couple of stages here were not among them. So shame on me for that.
It's okay. It's okay. That was a hype moment, I'm not going to lie.
Let's see if we can make another one of those here.
Oh, this one's a banger, too. I forgot about this song.
All right, I'm just going to have to fight. I was trying to skip this boss. Ooh, and I didn't do the... All right, that's another E-tank down. Fine. I won't need them later anyway. Sometimes you're just not paying enough attention and the game checks to make sure. All right. We do have an opportunity to regain some health in the room up ahead, so I might take just an extra second to do that. Yeah, the idea there is if you leave your feet in just the right place on that previous screen and then use an ice sled to push yourself in, the game is on the wrong height for the boss to spawn, and that just doesn't happen. So this is where when this boss spawns in, we would be jumping up on the wall, pausing with a charged ice sled, and using that ice sled as a platform to like one frame Hadoken. We're not going to do that. This is just going to be second verse, same as the first. Which is really only supposed to happen in this one case, but I guess you got to see it for Armadillo as well. Thankfully, if you realize you go the wrong way around the weapon wheel, you, starting these boss fights, you do also have an opportunity to go back, or rather to keep going around. So we're going to do a freeze just in case he does that. That is literally the reason why you use the freeze before throwing a Hadoken, because he will beat you 9 times out of 10 if you don't. Please don't eat me fishes. Thank you. Dang it. I had to say something. That's fine. We're really not wanting for any particular kind of weapon energy between now and the end of the stage. That was closer than I wanted to be, but I've seen closer. Remember that part where I mentioned we do 3.5 dashes towards Storm Eagle? I've ended up basically in Storm Eagle's chest before. And if you're at least 1 pixel away from where the hurt box starts, you're fine. Turn around to lower the slowdown. Keep under the sprite limit there. And the nice little ride where I'll get an opportunity to take a drink before our next boss.
You know what? I'll do the same as well. Why not?
Definitely stay hydrated, friends. All right, got a nice fast version of that out. If you're just a little bit slower on the draw there, you get to see something kind of funny where the animation of X, like when you defeat a boss, or rather, defeat the standard Mavericks, if you're like knocked down or taking damage or in the air, X will immediately go back to his standard standing animation when a boss is defeated. All right, that's the more generous pattern. Gives us a lot more time to get that Hadouken in. There are a couple of ways you can manipulate the tank boss here. You can fire at it. If you're really clever, you can actually just jump up onto the first pixel of the lip and Hadouken directly at its head from the beginning. You can also fire at it, which generally makes its follow-up patterns faster and more aggressive. And then there's also a pattern where the head goes down above you and comes down, which is a shorter frame to try to do the Hadouken. So for how my execution has been tonight, I'm grateful to have gotten the easy pattern. And on into the final Sigma Fortress stage with just 3 enemies. The worms that come out of the walls there that let you recharge your weapon energy. Sigma's dog, Velgader. I think the name is basically the same in English, Velgarder. Which another one of those kind of untranslatable ones, I would say. And then Sigma himself. I'm sorry I had to do that. Pets are friends. Animals are good. Velgarder did nothing wrong. No unauthorized Star Wars parodies in this household, please. Yeah, Sigma has to put away the beam saber, but he always has something else planned. He jumps into this giant wall-mounted mech, and we have to use the rolling shield to take him down to the finish of this run. Time will end as soon as Sigma's health is depleted. This, again, is very much a spacing battle. You want to check your spacing to avoid that, and also avoid getting potentially trapped or firing a rolling shield that goes down onto the floor like mine just did. A second for a kind of refresh. If you take this much damage with the armor part that halves all incoming damage, imagine how dangerous this would be if you are playing any percent and you don't have the shields and the E-tanks and all that. You know what? I'm just going to use the other sub-tank. It's fine. They'll have to let me in eventually, right? And time. That's what I get for trying to describe that while doing it.
It's a tricky fight. What can we say? But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for doing the run here.
Hey, my pleasure. Got to see what happens. Really what it looks like to do a no reset run in a circumstance where you're still learning the game, because I absolutely am. I've had people teach me how to do Iceless, teach me how to do Magic Carpet, a few other tricks like that. And while I can wrap my head around them, doing them at all in a run, much less doing them reliably, is a whole nother level. And I have nothing but respect for people who can do that at all, much less do it while commentating themselves. So thank you for the grace to understand the mistakes that got made along the way. I hope you had a fantastic time anyways. My name is Atitri, and you can catch me on the Games Done Quick Hotfix every other Wednesday, including this last Wednesday, and again on December 31st for Out of the Box, a show about speedruns that don't require complicated setup, don't require down patching. Our motto is, if you can watch it, you can run it, and I firmly believe that because, like Shasta, I watched so many Mega Man X runs before I learned how to do it for myself. I learned primarily from watching runs that were like a few minutes faster than my best time. So like I picked, hey, this person does this technique. Spike Vegeta does this way. Yes, Spike Vegeta used to run Mega Man X, and I learned from watching his 10-year-old VOD. You can absolutely do the same for yourself if you are interested. Just hop into it, find a way that isn't intimidating for you, and go for it. That is what I have to say. And if you enjoy that ethos, you will enjoy Out of the Box every other Wednesday on the Hotfix. Shasta, back to you.
Couldn't have said better myself, honestly. Yeah, I think Spike also did a Spearmint too for a Sesame project.
Yeah,
enough.
Definitely. Yep.
Very good.
He basically did an any percent speed run when doing his casual playthrough of X for his SNES project.
It's definitely a game where we can just like accidentally spearmint sometimes just because of how it is. It makes sense.
Pretty much.
But yeah. That being said, though, we'll be back in just a little bit with more Do All the Things. After this, we got Super Metroid 100% with Finn. So please stick around for that. That is also a banger. We got nothing but bangers on the Hotfix tonight, I'm not going to lie. So, yeah, see y'all very soon. Welcome back, everybody, to Do All the Things, a Hotfix show about Hermson experience and completionist categories in general. I'm your host, Mr. Orange Shasta, and we got a banger for y'all right at the very end of the rush show tonight. We got Super Metroid 100% with Finn, and I am very excited to see us. Let's just get right into it, honestly. Hello, Finn. How's it going tonight?
Doing good. I'm super excited for this. This is going to be absolutely awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and count down now. So, all right, in 3, 2, 1, go. So yeah, my name is Finn. I do run Super Metroid. I've been running this game for about a few years now. I do have another amazing speedrunner of the 100% category. His name is Kev Nastics. If you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kev Nastics. Anybody in the Super Metroid community would know that I am a jack of all trades and a master of none. And I love doing Super Metroid commentary and to be here for a GDQ Hotfix event to watch Finn run this exceptional category, underrated category in my opinion. But I am so excited to be here, and thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here, both of you. Always love me a Honda run, especially a Metroid game.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, the beginning, you guys have probably seen this numerous amounts of times. There's really not that much to it. You just kind of get hit by Ridley like a bunch of times, and then pretty much just now you just kind of go through all this stuff. Now we're just going to get out of here.
There's going to be some movement stuff that you're going to see Finn doing while he's doing these runs. You see these arm pumps that Samus is doing? These arm pumps will push Samus forward a pixel each time you do it. So if you're looking at a run that's going to go anywhere from like an hour and 16 to an hour and 20 minutes, arm pumping, like you can save more time than you probably think, probably 6 to 10 seconds through the run if you're a very efficient arm pumper, and maybe a little less if you're lazy, but it's free time. Take it.
Yeah, that was actually not that bad of a series time there. 45:13, I think it was.
I think for a lot of runners, that becomes a reset point for series. I feel really good with 45 myself. You know, I'm like, all right, we got through series.
Yeah, shout out Strusky. For those that don't know, Drewski is like an amazing any percent speedrunner. I highly recommend watching him if you guys are looking for some any percent content. He's an absolute legend.
Yeah, Super Metroid has a very, very large community of speedrunners. This game has been around for 30 years, and there's so many different categories. There's over 30 categories you can play, and there's a lot of main categories. So this is 100%. We should probably talk about what that means. So we're getting 100% of the items, and the way it is with Super Metroid is there are 100 items, so each item you get is a percent point. So it's really easy to find out how many items you missed if you get to the end of the game and, you know, throws a 97%. It's like, all right, okay, I missed 3 items. Now what could that have been? So that makes 100% really exciting. 100%, 100 items, and we are going to do all the things. We're going to get all of them, and first thing we're going to get is the morph ball. So Finn, what does the morph ball enable us to do as far as movement is concerned?
Lets us morph. So
wait, so Metroid doesn't crawl? Is that a thing?
No. So what? It's yeah. And just so you know, we are absolutely playing as Metroid right now. That's canon. So no, so morph does allow you. I mean, you can kind of see it here. Like you can see just Samus being able to just like crawl into like really tight spaces like that, and it allows for a lot of really cool tricks as well. Did you want to explain what mockballing does?
I will. Right there, you'll see Finn did a mock ball right out of there. Basically, it lets you maintain your run velocity in a morph position. So that is actually one of the most crucial movements that you can do in a speed run. The largest sequence break in a Super Metroid run, a speed run, is to get the early super missiles, which bypasses the spore spawn fight entirely. So that's one of the mini bosses that we are not going to see in this 100% at all. And that comes, you know, roughly about 7 minutes into the game. Well, Finn's faster than I am, so maybe a little bit before 7 minutes, we'll see that mock ball and that sequence break. And that pretty much what makes all Super Metroid speedruns impossible. I mean, make them possible. What Finn's doing right now is called the climb, and we're seeing ledge grabs here, popularized by Just Defend and Behemoth. You can do a wall jump climb there. There's really a lot of tech and so many different strats to approach rooms that it's really quite incredible, the diversity that you can see. And this being a 30-year-old game, you're going to see a lot of variety in play from one runner to the next. So we have our missiles. We're going to go fight a mini boss now called Bomb Torizo. And what Finn is going to try to do is kind of go back and forth between P shots, which 5 P shots equals a missile shot. And then you've got missiles that you have to do. We have perfect energy, so we're going to go for some really good drops here at BT.
I'll do a little bit of a bond, a little bit of a HPG there. I always have to. It's by law.
Yeah, when you get yourself in a room and you find yourself some downtime, you have to practice your bomb jumping. That's just absolutely necessary.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So no, as Hockey Towner likes to say, no decapitation animation. Really good 2-round fight there from Finn. We've got full missiles coming out of here. And now we're going to make our way down to Green Brinstar and do that early Supers mock ball to bypass Spore Spawn. Worth mentioning 100% that the boss order we're going to be going in is the intended boss order. That's Kraid, Fantoon, Dragon, and Ridley. Why do we do that for 100%? Well, because it is the most efficient way with the items you're going to get. You're going to get all the items. You got to go through the game the fastest as you can. It makes more sense to do it this way. Now, Finn is going to be running the former world record route, which is early power bomb route. And we're also going to do Lake Crocomire. Now, that is a really a route that Zos popularized when he was running 100%. They used to call it a meme, but Zos proved that you can world record with early power bombs. So this is a very valid route, one of the best routes in the game. And there is some thought that early Croc versus late Croc is probably closer in time than you would think, but it's just way less RNG heavy and includes a few more tricks if you do it Finn's way, which is the late Croc route. There's so much micro tech. Like, we're not going to get to see everything, but here's that early Supers mock ball. Very beautiful. We get right through there. We don't need speed booster. We do a nice little deboost, which is movement tech that you're going to see Finn do here again. We're going to deboost off this waiver, and this just kind of uses a mechanic of bounce back in the game, and it can allow you to get through the rooms faster than you would if you didn't do that. So we're going to see Finn do quite a lot of that. We're going to see a lot of damage boost. We're going to see things called ledge grabs, where you do really tight platforming to minimize your hang time, and that's by and large most of the movement tech that we're going to see from Finn. Now, as far as energy, this is a very volatile route until you get through Wreck Ship. Once you get through Wreck Ship and you get through Gauntlet, then you don't need to worry about your energy so much. So early game, Finn is going to be concentrating on his energy and probably resources. Beautiful reverse mock ball right there. That's like a 5 or 6 second time save and just one of the swaggiest mock balls in the game. That's probably my favorite.
That was awesome. Very clean.
Ooh, nice super. Getting a super there is like super rare. So I'm actually really happy about that. That means like, because normally with the early power bombs route, you actually have to missile that door right there. But because I got that super there, I actually don't need to do that.
Yeah, it would take about 10 to 20 hours to talk about everything and the minutia that goes in a hundo run and why this is death by 1,000 cuts and why it's the most difficult category to speedrun. It may be the most survivable, but just in sheer depth of game and quantity of rooms, the amount of mistakes that you can make over an hour and 20-minute run is absolutely insane. And most of the mistakes you make in this category are just like 1 second a room or a couple frames a room, and over a long run, it really adds up fast.
Oh yeah, for sure. So you notice that I left that missile behind. We're actually going to be coming back for that later. And there's actually a missile pack in this room here. It's called the Green Hill Zone. We're going to be coming back for that later as well.
I find it so funny that some of these things, just by nature of how you move and what you get, that coming back to the room and getting them later is more efficient than just getting it while you're in the room the first time. And I think that's fascinating. So Finn is going to go up here and do what we call early power bombs. typically you would get this after you did Upper Norfair with a late Croc run, or you would do it after Crocomire, and where you'd get your first power bombs in an early Croc run. Finn's going to go now, and that's going to allow him to use power bombs in some places where somebody who doesn't do this would have to use bombs instead. So power bombs can be quicker. We don't really have time to go into the minutia of why this is beneficial, but there are some places where having power bombs early can help you get through a room a little bit better, or maybe make it more similar to another category you're running.
Yeah, fun fact, that golded, by the way.
Nice.
You getting a gold, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, no, this run's actually not that bad. But yeah, no, now we're just going to be going back around, and now we're going to be heading to the first boss fight, which is Kraid.
Yeah, talking about the mock ball, there was a question in chat of why they call it a mock ball and how it's spelled. It's actually M-O-C-K because it mocks your run speed. Even though it would make more sense if it was M-A-C-H, mock is in some kind of speed, like, or maybe it's a Gillette Razor Mach 3. But no, it's a mock ball. Finn's doing some moonwalks or moonfalls. We didn't talk about that. That was a nice Red Tower moonfall right there. Basically, you can use the moonwalk tech to do some crazy shenanigans, which makes you fall faster. I mean, we can let experts talk about that. I don't play with moonwalk, but high five to Finn for doing so.
Yeah, Moonfall is amazing because it just like completely removes the vertical. I think it's a speed cap is what we refer to it as, and it just lets you fall like for basically forever. And
essentially, there's no terminal velocity, so you continue to fall faster and faster until you can't fall. Wow, that was really Finn. Really nice entry into Kraid's Lair right there. So right now, with Finn having these early power bombs, one of the reasons why this can potentially save time is Finn can get this here right now, can get the Kraid missile, whereas if you didn't get the early power bombs, you would have to come back here after Meridia and get this. So, you know, there is claim, and Zos proved it with the world record, that you can save time or make it time neutral by getting early power bombs if you have really good movement based on the stuff that you don't have to come back to, or using power bombs versus using bombs. So I think it's really great that we get a chance to showcase this particular run doing early power bombs. It's a very cool route.
Yeah, there is a change that we've been doing recently where we would actually do what is called a wall check, which pretty much just lets you into a room like pretty much quicker. But we've recently found out that like if you just like, actually, 1 second. I cannot be the one guy that misses quick kill at an event. Sorry.
GG,
Did you want to explain what quick kill is actually?
So the Kraid quick kill, you basically, Finn used the 2 missile setup, so you and did some damage reduction by bouncing in the spikes, so you could be on the perfect pixel or perfect position, so that when Kraid opens his mouth when you shoot him, you can get in the 2 missiles and 3 supers, and then boom, there's no second phase of Kraid, so no Kraid stand up. Now some people will do a charge shot and 4 supers. There's a couple different setups you can do, but the basic gist of it is you freeze Kraid's mouth open by shooting the munitions at a specific time that freezes his mouth and allows you to get those supers in. Finn, that was a really excellent mock ball out of the party zone. Now just don't get killed by these B-toms here, because that would be embarrassing.
Yeah, no promises.
Everybody's done it. Everybody's done it.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. The thing that's kind of a little bit like, that's kind of different from this versus like grabbing those power bombs late is that you actually enter that room with like not full power bombs. So like normally you actually get like 20 free HP in there, and it's very important to have I'm trying to get as much reserves as I can so that I can use them later for one of the tricks here that's going to be coming up towards after killing Fantoon.
The crazy thing about that is Finn is talking about something that's like 10 minutes away, so he's preparing in his reserve. Actually, it's more than 10 minutes because we got to get all the way through Wreck Ship, all the way through Upper Norfair, all the way through Wreck Ship. So basically what Finn is trying to do is to make sure that he has full reserves so that when he finishes Wreck Ship, hopefully he does not get damaged a lot, we can go and do the Gauntlet Spark, but we can unload our reserves to have just the right amount of energy to do that Gauntlet Spark. And that saves you a lot of time because you don't have to refill at the ship. And that's another thing that makes late Croc way more challenging than early Croc, is you have one less E-tank to do Wreck Ship in, and you also have the spiky Room of Death. So this is a harder route, and it does take more tricks, and the early game is much more volatile than if you did early Croc. So really cool. You're going to see Finn blast through Upper Norfair. We don't have to worry about anything killing us, but we do have to worry about losing oodles of time, because this is the section of the game that you would probably lose time where you wouldn't realize it because you're not in danger and you can kind of zone out.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, but I just got like a bunch of like big health. So yeah, we're not going to have to worry about health very much.
I mean, that's really good. And that also makes you a little bit more, go through speed Batcave before Speed Booster a little faster, because you don't need to worry in Hundo so much about getting good drops or, several rounds of farming.
Yeah, definitely. That's actually, yeah, I'm still going to farm here though, because my super count is actually not the greatest. I usually like to leave here with like 4 supers. So because there are a lot of doors that are coming up here that you need to exclusively open with supers. They don't allow you to use like anything else.
And you need 3 going into Wreck Ship, and you want to still make sure you have a super left over if you do X Factors on Fantoon. But I think you do Dopplers, Finn. You still need to have one super, right? Yeah, you still want at least one super.
Yeah, you want to have one super at least. Usually for that, the elevator that goes up in Red Tower, we'll see that here in just a moment. I like to enter that with 4.
Yeah, you can farm the cax and get some supers there. Well, you have to use the one on the super door for the beta power bombs.
Yes. Yeah, I do.
It's amazing when you think about how many supers, like you're saying, oh, we're going through 100%. We don't ever have to worry about ammunition. But Super Metroid's a weird game, and like with the super missiles, you have to worry about super missiles in every category you have. It's just like the one thing that just is not as plentiful as everything else. It just feels like you use them for everything. They really can cut time, but you're always looking for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For me, it's good to have like a really nice high missile count as well. And actually our missile count's really good right now because of the fact that I do the Doppler fight with Fantoon. I'm typically trying to go for a 1 cycle with that fight. And you only get like so many drops like when you're doing the 1 cycle. So it honestly, like, it's really good to see these types of drops with while I'm heading down to Fancy. Like these are really good drops.
I can't think of one category in Super Metroid where drop tables aren't important to know, and I can't think of a category where you're ever like not worried about ammo.
Yeah. So, oh my God, Kev, do you see this?
This is pretty great. But I can't believe, like, Sovas are so unreliable for a super. Like, if you need a super, don't ever rely on a Sova. But yeah, nice deboost in ice. Yeah, these drops are pretty incredible. I swear that Finn is playing on a vanilla ROM. There's no, actually, you do console, don't you, Finn?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. But yeah, these drops are mighty incredible. But it kind of makes you worry, like, when you get later in the game, in Hundo, you don't have to worry about getting tanked on Metroid drops so much, but you do want to have enough to go fast. So another feature of the Lake Crocomire route is we are getting ice early, which makes Red Tower like no sweat because you don't have to worry about a hero shot. It just you will actually be turning off ice before you get to Batoon, I'm guessing, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, when you're doing the Shine Spark to the Gauntlet room is when you disable all that stuff.
Yeah, that's right. So right now, Finn is going to, unfortunately, we missed the Alpha Spark right there. We bonked the door. We didn't even talk about doors, Finn. Door transitions are really important for time. You see so many doors that you have to go through, and it takes like about 2 to 3 seconds for a door transition. You also have to align the doors to the middle of the room. Some strats are faster if you don't align the doors. Some strats are slower. The doors are very important, and if you bonk a door, sometimes that's necessary for a strat, and sometimes bonking the door ruins the strat. Now, also, having done early power bombs, Finn can just skip going down right there because we've already done it, and boom, we can go right into pay. Oh, I love this strat. I'm so happy you got that. That is one of the sickest strats, that blue suit strat right there.
I practiced that room for like the past week and nothing else.
No, that worth it.
Not recommended, by the way.
I'm popping off and some people might be like, I don't even know what happened. He ran in, everything died, Yeah. So basically, Finn used something called a short charge to get Samus to the blue shine speed echo. It's anyways, we can run through enemies if we're blue, and it will kill them. And I don't know, it's just a really, really cool feature. We're gonna see that right now. So Finn is going to do a short charge, and I'm hoping for Ocean Fly. I got this in my KPDR run the other night.
Ooh, nice. I think we got it.
It looks like it. You can tell by where the beam is still on the screen. That looks good.
It's because I mentioned I got it. That's why. I should have said that we missed it.
It's like a frame off. Unfortunate.
Yeah. Oh well.
Basically, you can use a series of stutters and or taps to get Samus to charge a Shine Spark faster. You see the blue echoes that Samus has right there. There's certain frames that the game checks to see if you're holding Speed Booster, and it's just some kind of game magic, and it works. But it's a really, really difficult strat, and it's really hard to go fast in some of these categories if you cannot master it.
Yeah. These are my favorite missiles during the Halloween season because those are specifically called spooky missiles. That's what the community has called those.
It's true. It's because it's dark in the ship. It's scary. They're the spooky missiles. It's also the only item. Yeah, it's the only item. Nice short charge, but it's the only item you can get. Oh, and you had to blow that super heckin' Ghidorah. But that spooky missile is the only item you can get because for some reason killing the ghost turns on the electricity, and spikes also don't work unless the power's on. I don't understand that one myself, but crazy game.
I'm really hoping Phantoon drops me a super. All right, well, did you want to explain the patterns actually on this?
Yes, we have slow patterns, we have mid patterns, and we have fast patterns. So if Finn is setting up for run round, we got a slow there. Decent stutters. We're going to do Dopplers. Basically, when you hit Phantoon with a certain amount of missiles, he will disappear. So you're trying to space out the missiles to kind of stun Phantoon so you can get more in before he disappears. A one round is possible, but the timing is pretty precise. It's a certain beats per minute, and definitely in a marathon setting, extremely hard to do. But the patterns are about roughly 6 seconds apart from one pattern to the next.
Yeah.
And you do have the drop right there. You did get the super drops, but unfortunately, Phantoon is being mean.
Yeah, Phantoon is not playing nice right now.
No. And you can only damage Phantoon right there when the eye opens. And I don't remember the exact count. It's like 19 missiles and a super or something like that. The super does double damage.
Yeah, for sure. It's 21 missiles and then a super right after that, I think. No, 19. No, you're right. It's 19. I'm thinking
I'm glad I know that because I do X Factors and I only have to count 1, 2, 1, 2, go.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, now we are done
Your
with that
resources, your supers are bad, but it doesn't really matter. Actually, no, because you're going to get 2 super packs right here. So resources are looking
it's
pretty
honestly
good.
not great right now, actually.
It's not great, but if you look at your energy, this energy, because you do ballistic attic, don't you?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, so you're right. These kind of are crappy drops, but your energy is looking really, really good, especially needing to go through Spiky Room of Death. Now, it doesn't matter how good you are in Spiky Room of Death. There's a reason they call it Spiky Room of Death. And the Kazans, which are the platforms, they act like enemies. So if you get on some like Samus movement autopilot and you try to ledge grab on that Kazan, you're going to go through it. You're going to get hit twice. And if that pops your reserve, you're going to die.
Yeah. I'm just glad that my HP is like good right now. This is like the part of the run that's like super easy to die in if you don't have like good health.
Oh, it's a shame you got that shot a little late, but we're going to try to deboost off the spikes here. Finn's energy is really good to kind of take this aggressively, which I think any runner going in there loves it when you can play Spiky Room aggressively. But the problem is after we get this nice Kago through that spark, when we get this energy tank right here, Finn has to watch his energy because we have to use a Shine Spark, and oh my gosh, we have to do a bomb setup, and Finn, a 1 bomb. That was sick. That was really well done. I can't even explain to the people like what's going on there. Like the timing that Finn had to use the bomb there, you can use grapple beam here when you do early croc. So that's another idiosyncrasy of this particular route that makes it harder. And for the amount of time this route saves you, like I would only recommend doing this route if you were somebody at like Finn's level, where it might really, the RNG on croc might really matter, because late croc kind of takes the RNG out of that fight, and that's one of the biggest reasons people do it, along with the Shine Spark to X-ray or Spike Suit. But we'll talk about that later. Finn, that was really, really good movement through there. Let's nail this attic. So right there, I would call that a 90%er right there. Yeah, good enough. That was really well done. And so what we're going to do here, this is called the Annoying Robots Room because, well, these are annoying robots. They block your way. You know, sometimes they don't want to let you through. What Finn's doing right there, which looks like some kind of magic, is just trying to take some damage so that you can basically KO or, you know, get through the robots a little bit faster. I recommend that. That was nice without having to worry about taking a boost off the spikes, because these sparks do less damage. But I would still be a little concerned about the energy.
There's actually a different strat. I think there's actually a strat that I'm going to be going for Robot Flush, where normally you take 3 hits for it, but we're only going to be taking 2.
That, by the way, was a very, very slick space missile setup right there. And wow, really, really nice. Like getting that diagonal super. Like if you get this, you'll get the trifecta if you nail the bowling robot flush.
I don't know if that shot is frame perfect, but I'm sure it's close to that.
Yeah, and there's a couple places you could do the diagonal shot in the game. Like I like doing it in Meridia, coming out of it after the shoot or the toilet.
Oops.
All right, so what Finn's going to try to do here is try to do some charge shots and get it in some very specific places, moving around right there to try to hit the robots underneath. Lay the power bomb right there to get rid of the Chozo statue that, if he did it right, we're not going to see. But basically, okay, good. So there's some audio cues you can kind of listen for. I don't do the strat, so I don't know much about it, but it probably saves like around 10 seconds. You know, getting that. You lose a little bit of time on the setup, but you gain the time back by not having to wait for the robots or the Chozo statue, and you can just kind of run across. But also, Finn's got to watch energy, because we have 2 more Shine Sparks left before we do the Gauntlet Spark. Fortunately, we have a full reserve, so that's definitely going to be helpful. Nice little early shot there to clear those blocks, and wow, dude, GG's.
Yeah.
Robots flushed.
They are, yeah. And I'm actually kind of low on HP right now, so I'm just going to go for that. Yes, we do have a lot of like health stored in our reserve tank, but I still want to still want to play it safe here.
Well, the Shine Spark up to Criteria Power Bombs uses at least 50 energy, and then, you got to be careful getting those Power Bombs because that room is suspiciously dangerous if you're on low HP.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, say that again. I'm sorry.
The Criteria Power Bombs room, you have 2 Shine Sparks coming up. You just did the one. Now it takes at least 50 to do the Shine Spark up to Criteria PBs, and you have to make sure you don't get hit in there when you get the PBs.
It's it's about that.
Because what do you need? Do you need 233 for Gauntlet Spark, roughly?
About 230. You can kind of adjust based off of the kind of like HP you have, but around like 230 is good.
Oh, beautiful strat right there. That is so hard. But being able to jump across the moat, shoot the door, get the mock ball through the door, it saves a little bit of time because you're coming through that room faster. So here's the Shine Spark that Finn's going to do right here. So what we're going to do is we have to open this door. It's a power bomb door. If you jump at the right point here, there's a couple points you can do it. You can kind of shoot right through the room. Finn got blue, so beautiful. That strat I haven't seen. That's a hard strat.
It's a new
really
one.
Good.
Yeah. Shout outs to Static Shock. He's the one that kind of taught me that just by watching his stuff. It's really cool. It actually saves half a second compared to the other strat.
Now, Finn is doing a very specific shot right there to get something we call a wraparound shot. Basically, he's shooting a copy of the room, whatever it is. It's just, you don't need to know. It's opening up this door so we can go really far, and well executed. All right, we got to get this set up. We got to break these blocks. Let's go, Teletubby Huggy. I'm not going to go into the lore. I'm not going to go into the lore of why we call it the oh, geez. Oh, great save. I'm not going to go into the lore of why we call it the Teletubby Huggy, but Finn. Whoa. All right, so we're going to get these missiles, but Finn made it a little crazy. Right there.
I'm out of power steering fluid, man.
Wow. So if Finn did not get somehow on top of those crumble blocks in the right place, we would have to do that whole section all over again. That was not just one colossal save, that was 2. And I was trying to explain the Teletubby Huggy, and now I feel like that is the weirdest 30 seconds of my commentary life. That was beautiful right there. That's great strat. So, but anyways, the Teletubby Huggy comes from beloved runner Sephi, and it was because that there's a more X-rated strat name for that strat, so the name of that has evolved and morphed along the years. So but anyways, you can look into the lore if you really want. Come to the SM Discord, somebody will tell you that. Nice moonfall down there. We're back in Green Hill Zone. This is a very colorful and musically exciting section of the game. I love this part.
Oh, this is my favorite part of the run. It's so flashy.
It is so flashy, but it's also it's like Upper North where it's innocuously hard. There's so many strats that save time, but they're really, really hard to execute. And you're not really in any danger. You don't have to worry about your energy. You don't need to worry about that at all. But the strats are just so hard. Like you got Mission Impossible. That's really hard. If you're going to go get blue to get into Wavegate, that's really hard. And there's just a lot of movement. You got to make sure you get the Spore Spawn super correctly. This section of the game, impossible if you do not know how to wall jump. A lot of people in 1994 gave up this game when they fell down there and could never get out.
Also, that's kind of fair considering Metroid 1 and 2 did not have wall jumping at all.
The movement mechanics, the sequence breaking that's possible. Like we didn't even talk about the sequence breaking with wall jumps. When Finn got the wave beam earlier, like you're technically supposed to have grapple beam for that. Now, what Finn just did right there is that power bomb not only opens up this power bomb area, but it also opens up the door to the Wavegate energy tank. So that's another strat saving thing right there. And by doing it in this order, what Finn's trying to do is basically, let's see if you can get the setup for. All right, so it looks like you got the setup.
I may not have gotten it.
Yeah, you have to do a quick drop there.
Okay, good.
Ooh.
Yeah, so basically it's a buffer jump. You have to do a quick drop, and you have to land facing the power bomb, and you have to buffer a jump, you spin jump out, and then, take the deboost on the spike. So Finn really did a good job on that. It's a little wonky setting it up, but still saves time to having missed it.
Yeah, being able to get back up there and not having to go around saves about 5 seconds, I think. I don't know. I just do it because it looks cool.
Me personally, I lose about 2 minutes on this section every time I play the game, so I feel like it saves. You save buku time. All right, so Finn's trying to find the right place to step here to, you see the screen shake. Okay, I shot the block out. Now I'm going to rob Spore Spawn. So not only do we not get our first super pack from Spore Spawn by doing the early supers, but we're going to rob him blind by just going through the back door and stealing his super missiles without ever saying hello. Spore Spawn fans are sad. Some people are clapping, and nobody else knows what we're talking about.
I'm going to pretend I didn't run Nintendo Power% and say I have no idea who Spore Spawn is.
Nintendo Power% is Nintendo Power% is one of the very few categories with required Spore Spawn and early Spore Spawn.
I won't lie though. The first time I ever saw this game was in a speedrunning sense, and I had no idea Spore Spawn existed until I played this game casually.
It is wild when you watch people go for 100% for the first time, and they are trying to look for things or how to get to things. It is pretty wild because every category has sequence breaks. It's just it's a part of speedrunning in Super Metroid, and I think those of us that speedrun this game often, we just kind of forget, how is this game supposed to be played? Because this is the way I learned how to play this game. I find it exciting that the fastest route in Hundo is the actual intended route.
That's pretty neat, honestly.
Even if we are getting items out of sequence, we're doing bosses how it was planned.
Yeah. I do love how you have to grab all the items in a very specific order. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You grab one item too early, that invalidates your run. See ya, buddy.
Yeah, that's the hard thing about runs like Nintendo Power% or Max Code GT. We do have a bunch of categories that's, you can have 2 items in the same room, but if you get them in the wrong order, sorry, run invalidated. Oh, very nice Blockbuster right there. I have to point that out, one of Kip's favorite strats. Blockbuster is really, really good. So again, we're using... Yeah, it's so hard. We're using Speed Booster quite a lot. It's one of the things that makes 100% really exciting is that the Speed Booster and the length of time you have Speed Booster, but even more so when you get Space Jump, everything just kind of heats up. And then when you get Spring Ball, oh my gosh, we're talking some of the best movement you'll see in any video game ever made.
Yeah,
and I will die on that hill.
Yeah.
It's pretty true, though, honestly.
That is a really short charge. It's not the shortest short charge you can do in the game, but it's one of the harder ones.
Yeah, it's so hard, especially depending on how you go through that door will make that trick harder.
Get the wiggle.
Oh my god.
Oh, you didn't have to wiggle. That's a really hard jump right there. And this is going to be... So this is going to be a room Finn has to nail, because if he doesn't, not having grapple makes this suck. And that's another thing. If you had grapple beam, you'd have an easy backup here to get this E-tank. You could go back and short charge, but these missiles are hard to miss. There's just so many. Hundo is so deep. We can't properly talk about it and nail everything that Finn's doing and explain to you just how difficult it is. This is one of my favorite rooms in Meridia right here. It's so slick. If Finn does this, he's going to wall jump and just morph right into that tunnel right there. It's such a cute little move.
I always feel bad for this crap that's in here. Part of the reason why I run this category is because I just want to give that crab company. That's all.
Hey, buddy, somebody wants to come see you for once, you know.
They're a good little crab. We love them.
I mean, you could do Mappo and see the ohms, which we will not see in this category. People that have ran this game for like decades might not even know what the ohms are if you haven't seen Mappo or True Completion. But there is, we're doing 100%, but there's like 30 rooms that we're not even going to go in. Which is kind of wild, where like there was a whole section to the right in there that Finn didn't even go to that we won't even see. Forgotten Highway, we're not going to see. There's nothing there. There's no items. We're only going where the items are.
Yeah, the enemies in that hallway don't even know what Forgotten Hallway is. Even the hallway doesn't know it's forgotten.
Some of these enemies have never met Samus. In like the boss break room after the game, when all the enemies are talking about what kind of day they had with Samus, there's other enemies going, I didn't even see that. Do you know who that is? Who are these people talking about? Kraid said he took her out today. She missed the quick kill. What does that mean?
Yeah. Forgotten Highway is like Super Metroid's teacher's lounge.
I love it. That's another thing is all these rooms have names. The Super Metroid community, for better or for worse, has given names to everything. This is the Aqueduct, which I think is a really cool name. We'll be back here later for the Aqueduct Supers and Missiles. Why? Because it's faster to get them later, even though we just got in the room. We're going to see, do you do a D-Factor?
I do the new one that came out where you just kind of morph, so this is kind of what it looks like.
So that's our first X Factor. Allows us to get 4 super strength ammunition there to Batoon, and 4 particles, and then 6 supers, and Batoon is dead because each of those particles do 300 damage, and so do supers. So that's the first X Factor we'll see. It's a special beam attack. Finn's setting up for the full halfy right now. Setup looks good.
I didn't get it.
Oh, got the halfy, but you got the top shelf halfy, which is the best way to fail that.
Half-halfy, if you will.
Yes, there you go. And really, really great thing about that, though, is we got the top shelf so Finn could down grab that ledge and not have to dump down in the sand. So you probably only lost about 4 or 5 seconds.
It's not that bad, yeah. Yeah, not
so
that
it's
bad.
better than getting the full Nopi, which is where you don't even get the halfy, is you just bonk as soon as you get in the door.
Just trying to find the door there. Where is it?
The hitboxes in this game are really special. I'm not going to go into detail there. I'm just saying. The other thing about hitboxes here, you need to learn how to manipulate Samus's hitbox for a lot of crazy things. And here on this fight, it's important Finn knows about Dragon's hitbox because we've got some Shine Spark killing to do. All right, we're trying to connect all 4 particles and Shine Spark through the head. Very beautifully done. Trying to see what pattern we have. Missiles in a super. 2 in blue. Absolute nice. Finn. Wow. And the spike suit. Let's go.
Incredibly clean.
So to kind of, it's very hard to go into what goes there. Shine Spark does a lot of damage on Dragon. You need to know how to short spark in order to make that happen. Finn was also able to take advantage of a minor glitch in the game. If you take damage and you execute a Shine Spark at a very particular point, the game stands you up and you get a blue suit. That's kind of like the game's default when you have a Shine Spark enabled and it gets interrupted. The game's like, you get a free Shine Spark. Beautiful reverse Coliseum happy. It's just good stuff right there. This is the part of the game where everything happens really, really fast, and commentators are like, "Why did I agree to 100% match or 100% comms?" But like, Finn is doing
so
really
real.
good stuff. Top of the line strats. Like, this is an exceptional Meridia section right here from Batu and on. Really well done. We're going to try to take a D boost here to get the Yo Dog boost. Looking good. Why is it the Yo Dog boost? Because
Looking good.
Go on.
I will name this after you make it. Softlock special. Let's go.
Thanks for waiting until after. I appreciate that.
Yes, yeah. Well, you have to do it again. So I was like, should I wait for the second time? But basically,
You made a good choice. You made a good choice, sir.
So what Finn did there is you want to get blue. So you got to do a short charge. So he did a boost off of the bull to carry that damage boost through a room to go backwards to take another damage from another enemy, to do a short charge to not get hit by an enemy, fired a door, jumped through the door, executed a morph in a certain spot, and then had to stay blue without losing his blue, go through some blocks, not lose blue going through those blocks so that he soft locks. Like, there was a lot going on right there to save like 2 seconds. It took me longer to explain the strat. And here's the most important strat that I didn't even explain at all. So we have a moment now that Shaq Tool's here. What did we just do, Finn?
We just skipped like half of the game right there. That's what we did. No, what we did is if you get that little like string looking enemy, they're called a Puyo. If you get them in a certain position, you can actually like jump through, like you can just jump right on top of them, and then it just lets you clip through the floor. Become like a Diglett or something like that. I don't know.
But it's what makes this this route possible. Because if you weren't able to do that ice clip right there, you would have to get grapple beam and get through the pants room. I'm not going to tell you why we call it the pants room, but it's not dirty, so close your mind. It's very G rated. But you have to get the grapple beam, go through the pants room, and then get to Shaq Tool. Well, we just bypassed that pants room. So there's another way that this route saves time, because there's parts of the game that you don't have to go through that in the other route you do.
That room is exceptionally hard for like no reason, because there'll be times where like Shaq Tool's like arm or whatever it is like will just be in the way of the missile, and you just won't missile that door there like whatsoever.
There are those of us in the Super Metroid community that will die on this hill, that the game is sentient and it knows when you need something, and it just wants to mess with you sometimes. Super Metroid has a mind of its own, and I will die on that hill.
Same, brother.
Now, this is called the toilet, or if you're the hockey towner, it's the Choot Choot. And I actually like the name Choot Choot because there was a Choot. Here's another Choot. And we got another. And the only reason I know that nickname is the Choot because, well, Hockey Towner called that the Choot Choot.
Makes sense to me.
I like the toilet personally, but I can understand why you might want to go with another name.
I think Choo Choo's a little cuter personally. I like that one.
There you go. There you go. And games evolve over time. So we have the plasma beam right now. This is a room that is very, very difficult to do right. As you see, this is exactly how you wanted to do the room. You must fall down there and
of course. You want to double check that? Yeah, no. Perfect.
We had to make sure that pink pirate was dead. That's all.
Yeah.
We had to make sure.
Yeah, we don't even worry about the one on the right. I knew it was done. Normally you moonfall here, but I missed it, but it's fine.
Oh, you could have taken a D-boost off of that Skullterra right there if you were ready for it.
Oh, man, you're so right.
I just wanted to say Skullterra, that's all I wanted to say.
I do not blame you in the slightest. That is an awesome name.
You know, a lot of people will name drop famous people like, oh, yeah, I know this guy or I met that guy. Dude, I'm like, dude, Skullterra, I knew this enemy in Super Metroid. Those are the names I want to drop.
Yeah.
What's wrong with me? Why did you invite me here, Finn? Maybe this was the exact reason. This is what...
I'm the same way too, commentary, honestly. I gotta remember every single enemy name ever. It's very important. I run a lot of Kirby games. There's a lot of funny named Kirby enemies, that's for sure.
Oh God, dude!
Nice blue suit.
That
backup is crazy, dude.
I didn't want to. I was clenching like 2 rooms before we were here, and I'm like, oh my God! I said soft lock special earlier. Please don't let this kill the room. Don't let this kill the run. I can't. But Finn, like, literally almost soft locked there and just moved a little bit to the left at the right time, so that because those speed blocks regenerate, and if you get caught in the middle of them, you can't run. Like, you're done. Boom, run is over. And we're what now? Almost an hour in this run? 48 minutes into this run? Jeez.
About 50 minutes, yeah.
And how many runs have you actually lost soft locking there?
Too many to count.
I don't know anybody that does that strat and hasn't lost like a bucket full of runs to that.
I love the position of where these 2 items are at.
Yeah, no kidding. I like to play a category called max percent suitless, and I have to get all this stuff without gravity suits, so it's really cool to watch you fly through this so fast. Like, I am a hundo runner too, but like I don't play as much as I used to, and this is such a deep category.
It's really...
Like, well, do you get in max percent that don't get 100%? Or like,
max percent, you just don't get the suits. You can actually get 98% of the items and beat the game without getting suits, but you have to do like really weird glitches to make it happen. So hey, maybe I will give you a call and we can show it on a hotfix one day.
That'd be pretty cool, actually. I'd be down.
So I am not the best max suitless runner, but I am in the top 3.
That's what counts, honestly.
So let's see. We got a question. How long does Meridia take in hundo? That is definitely largely dependent on whether you're good or not. And none of us are, except for Finn. That was a well-executed Meridia.
It was a very nice Meridia.
Yeah, thank you. I'm honestly thrilled to get both of those blue strats. Honestly, I just do them. I think they look cool. I don't know the actual names of them, to be quite honest with you.
Now, somebody told me that I coined the phrase soft lock special. I thought I got it from somebody else, but I have been known to taunt another early Power Bombs runner, Fat Scott, about the soft lock special because he actually did soft lock in a match one time doing that. But it's that's how I called it. But here we're going to see the chronic boost, named after the runner Chronic. So you take a D-boost off there. I called it because I knew Finn was going to nail it. Like, you can call it commentator curse or whatever, but everything I've called it, Finn has nailed, except for the full halfy. But we'll just pretend nobody was watching anyways.
Absolutely no one, especially me.
I blacked out for 10 seconds when that happened. I have no idea what happened there.
Oh, you did. I was hoping you were going to do blue fireball, but this D-boost strat, I actually think I think the D-boost strat is harder. Is it a little faster? I think the D-boost strat is a little faster to set up.
It's debatable. I believe the strat that I do is faster. I just find it easier. Is the only reason. I can never get the visual cue for the other strat.
Do you do the D-boost off the Holtz here?
I tried, but normally yes I do.
You're bold to space jump. A lot of us runners like to either mock ball through the door or do a spring ball jump off of that bridge. If Finn was to hit there and fall down those crumble blocks, then Finn would have to do that whole section all over again. It's very similar to missing one of the gauntlet missiles. I thought we were going to get the rare left side GT. GT is just as annoying as Bomb Chorizo, but for different reasons. Bomb Chorizo annoys you because of his drops. Golden Chorizo annoys you because of his jumpy patterns and his silly, shenanigans with the, the banana beam.
These are really good supers, by the way. Also, you noticed me earlier, like in the Shack Tool room, that I actually was shooting a bunch of missiles there. That's literally for that room, specifically for Gold Chorizo, to make him like drop more items, and that can make or break like your run, like at a certain level of just having like a buttload of supers. It's really important for the Ridley fight to have a bunch of supers. You'll see why in a moment.
Yeah, I actually forgot to mention that entirely, because that kind of only became like a main strat in the last year and a half, maybe 2 years. During our last Hundo tournament, I remember there was some talk, or maybe it was when Zenny was on his last Hundo grind.
Yeah, no, it saves a lot of time.
So for the Ridley fight, super missiles will do double damage. So what that means is that instead of the standard 300 damage you get for a super missile, you're going to get 600 on Ridley. So 30 supers will end the fight right away. A lot of runners will do 2 beam shots and 27 supers as like the more optimal Hundo fight. But it's way faster than doing the 20 beam shots that it would take with this beam combo. Killing those key hunters there for some damage reduction, laying that power bomb.
Yeah, it's not my normal strat doing it that specific way, but that's just like a nice little backup. Because you're supposed to like do like a charge shot downwards, but I missed it. So I just decided to just spam a bunch of laser beams at them.
A run this long is almost never good. A run this long is not going to go perfect. So in this game, a lot of us say you have to have a backup for your backup for your backups. Because your main strat is going to fail quite often. And how you back something up is usually what saves a run more than getting something perfect. Really nice right there. God, I love that spring ball strat.
It's so nice, yeah.
I do Plower House. I don't know how to set up for the spring ball.
Me neither. I just get lucky.
So you can kind of just spam some supers here, but you got to pay attention to Ridley's patterns. You're trying to get Ridley into some pogos because you can drop the supers in a little bit faster. All right, trying to get a beam shot there. I think maybe one more beam shot, and the fight should be over.
Let's do an extra one just for good measure.
Yeah, and you want Ridley to grab you close to the middle of the room right there, because that'll help her get through her damage animation a lot faster. So that was really well done. Only a couple missed supers right there, which with the length of run and doing it in a marathon setting like this in front of a lot of people, I mean, I think Finn is doing an exceptional job. This is great, Finn. This is a really good run.
Couldn't agree more. You're doing very well right now.
Yeah, this run's actually, if that fan tune that I had didn't happen, but outside of that, like, this has actually been a very good run.
Really nice reverse Flower House.
Yeah, if that fan tune didn't happen, this actually would have been on a huge PB pace, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say you lost like a good minute there, and that was a really sick. By the way, that spring ball strat right there, and then Wasteland Speedball. I mean, Finn is nailing all the like Hundo marquee strats. Now, are you a fan of the Hoda Ruby special, or are you more like a real cutie who gets more powerful every time the runners miss the Hoda Ruby special because they don't go for it?
I am a Hoda Ruby special fan, I will say.
Nice.
Maybe not today.
I dropped that lore in there for the people that, you know, are in our community who are in this game like every day.
Yeah. You saw me try to like land on that flea there. That's what they're called. They're not dragonflies, they're fleas.
Fire fleas, I love it.
Dragon fleas, whatever it is.
Nah, I didn't get it. That's fine.
That's right. It was pretty close. You are going to bust the block.
I don't think I'm going to do that either.
No? Oh, I see.
No.
And then the enemy that Finn had to get across is called an Alcoon, the seahorses. And I remember that because Alcoon sounds like seahorse.
True.
Absolutely, yeah. Uh-huh. Yep. Nailed it.
I forgot what they're called, honestly. They're also in Metroid 1 Zero Mission.
Hey, you know what the crazy thing is? One of them is called an Alcoon and the other is called the Dragon. And I don't remember which is which because you got these ones, they go up and down, and then the other ones are in the acid or the lava or whatever. So, you know, like that's the only difference between the Alcoon and the Dragon is one walks and the other doesn't. Kind of like the difference you have like Namahes and Foons. And, you know, we've gone on a detour. Anyways, back to the run. We are killing key hunters and clipping through them and doing some really wild stuff. And we have a few more items to collect in Upper Norfair before we go down to Croc. We are doing the Lake Croc. We'll see the advantage of doing the Lake Croc. And I actually think it's a much more exciting Crocomire section when you do Lake Croc. You can get through it a lot faster, but we do miss some of my more favorite strats like Indiana Jones because you don't need it.
I don't know if you noticed with that one enemy, the cack attack is what they're called. It dropped me a health. That's 1 in 255.
Jeez, that's a less than 1% drop right there. Usually, if you are not full on super missiles, like 99.9% of the time, the cack attack is going to drop you a super missile. So yeah, getting an energy there is stupid. Hey, you know what? You got so many great super drops in the first half of the game. I'm not surprised.
I mean, I just got a super there, so I'm not even mad.
We take those.
Yeah.
Now, I hope you can nail this strat because this is one of my favorite rooms in the game. Let's go. And the final D-boost, beautiful. That right there is the sickest room in the game when done perfectly. I love that. Oh, I wouldn't have even thought of that second D-boost there.
It's so hard. You got to get... I'm honestly shocked I even got it because you need to have a really good ledge grab in order to even get that. I actually didn't even get a great ledge grab there, and I still got it somehow. All right, so here comes my favorite boss here. Okay, so... But yeah, no, this is my favorite boss, and he's dead.
See ya.
And also, when Finn was able to jump over Crocomire there and get to the E-Tank early, you actually have to be careful because you can soft lock.
Yeah, I'm honestly really happy I think I was like 1 frame away from that not working, actually.
Dude, spike suit with spring ball, I can't even begin to tell you how hard that is. Now, Finn is going to try to hold this spike suit all the way to X-ray, okay? Now, why is that hard? Because you can't do any input that sets off a shine spark. So it does change your movement. Well, we're gonna leave that there and hope we do it.
Yeah, it's basically like not playing the game, like when you have spike suit. But yeah, hopefully I don't drop it. That'd be really cool.
The movement and this having the movement items that you have here versus early Croc, it just makes it so sick. Now, the movements Finn can't do, we can't do a jump straight up and down because that'll set off a shine spark. We can't do angle up, that'll set off a shine spark. We can't hit jump when we're stationary. You know, we have to do a spin jump. Oh, this is a really good deboost off of the viola right there. Nice job. Oh, that was such a well executed room. So Finn will pick up the grapple beam here, and now because we have space jump, we don't need to do Indiana Jones intended grapples off of the rippers. We can just space jump to the missile. So I will say that I will never run this route because Indiana Jones is my favorite strat in Hundo. But I love watching this route run. Yeah, I love that strat. I'm so good at it.
Yeah, I'm the real one that's like not winning here because I can't do Indiana Jones. I actually don't even know how to do it. I've never ran a really grog before.
It's like the one strat that I can do that's like really hard, and so I'm very proud of it. That was a really good room there. Also getting that spring ball jump over the cosine room. It's called the cosine room. If you're a math fan, you'll know why. But Finn is tempering his movement a little bit right there to make sure we're not doing any bad button presses, because we still have another item to get here before we can go to X-ray. And you're going to see the spring ball jump. You don't have to worry about setting off a shine spark when you're in spring ball. So it's another way, but again, sometimes moving like that. Oh, that is so good. I don't know how you do that strat. I'm so slow at this room in Hundo.
It's so hard.
Like this is elite so level play, y'all. Some of these strats are the absolute ideal, optimal, the optimal strats. So a lot of these are elite strats, and Finn is pulling them off like really, really well.
Yeah, getting those super shots are so hard. Oh, that should have opened. I tickled the door.
One of the reasons why runners will use grapple beam is because it goes out of the arm cannon faster than a beam shot. So you can open doors a little bit earlier and not bonk them, which is why you'd see that. So we're very close to pulling this off. Beautiful.
Let's go.
Well done, Finn. Yeah.
Nice.
And that is a big time saver there. That's what, 6 to 10 seconds maybe.
It's a lot
like
of time.
6.
Yeah,
it's a lot of time. It's a good decent time.
Yeah, no, it's actually, I mean, in reality, like it's actually not that much of a time save compared to like all the other things, but it's so cool when you get it.
Yeah, it's basically because it's a bit faster than the space jump, and you don't need to take that deboost off of the spikes to get the run going, and it's really cool. Now, do you go?
I do not.
This strat? No. So you can go for a strat here called why did I forget what it was called?
Reverse Slinky is what it is.
Reverse Slinky. Yeah, Reverse Slinky. I do like going for it, but it's probably the hardest strat to nail in a Hundo run. Very good. You save a little time doing that, not having to lay the power bomb. You can just speed boost through that block right there. Oh, this is such a hard section.
I'm just going to play this safe. There's a much harder strat there. I'm just not doing it. Nope.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. And with the movement items that you have, this game, it's the first part of the game, but now you have every item. So theoretically, you can go through here way faster. But if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get through here slower than with no items because you're going to bonk everywhere. It's just, I don't know how else to explain it other than the movement in this part of the game is as hard as it gets in this category.
It's so hard,
for the small amount of time. The strats you have to nail in like a 2-minute time span is insane to save time. We'll call them strats per capita.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I don't know if do you know about the wraparound here, Kev?
Yeah. But it's higher up, is it? Did you do that? Did you? Oh, sick. You did get the wraparound shot. You know what? I forgot. I think Oates used to go for it or does go for it. No, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. It's not so much, at least with my testing, it's more so about where you land and where you crouch. I've noticed like in between like the two blocks or whatever, and you like do a up angle shot, it's very consistent.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and then not having to do that door shot there means you don't really have to worry about the scree from the ceiling and getting hit by that.
No, not at all. Yeah. That's honestly the whole reason why I go for it. I'm sure it loses time, but when it comes to like how hard this area is, I'm really just trying to go for whatever's consistent.
Sometimes you have to go slow to go fast, and a category like this, that's very true. Sometimes that your slower strat will sometimes get you through faster because it's more consistent.
Yeah, definitely.
God, I love space jump, firing a beam shot, mockballing through a door, and if you have spring ball to bounce afterwards. I can't even describe like how cool it feels to control Samus at that level.
Oh, it's not like any other game I played.
Same here, and I grew up in the 80s, and there's no other game like this, especially with the depth of what you can do with it.
Yeah, so that's actually the last item. We're done. We're gonna be now heading down to Torian to complete the game.
And there's another little quick thing. You just use the grapple beam on that door to open it up a little faster. It's it's so funny to see all these elite level strats and then you miss one like that. It's like Samus looks so like ashamed when she misses it, like it looks dorky.
Yeah.
Oh, the images coming in my head. Hey, so now we sit and wait. We are at G4, which is the golden 4, self-explanatory if you're not colorblind. And we're going to wait. And we know that this is the intended order of bosses that you should defeat them, because no matter what order you do defeat the bosses, the statues always explode in this order. Kraid, Fantoon, Dragon, and Ridley, everybody. My linguist, I did not get my appointment with my linguist this week. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Honestly, I mean, I always struggle trying to pronounce the last boss's name, Riddler.
Also, real quickly in chat, there's a poll for save or kill the animals. Which one do you want to see, Chad? Be sure to run the poll. Let us know your opinion.
Can we babysit them?
Ooh.
Babysit?
If it ties, maybe.
I mean,
I think babysitting the animals, you go in the room and you just let the acid kill you.
Oh no.
So bad idea. Let's not do that. I changed my mind.
There is taunting the animals where you just go in the room and just like stand there for a few seconds and leave.
It's so good. So mean, but so good. Oh my God, Finn. No, are you kidding me?
Okay.
Three near. We're sitting here, being silly, and Finn is just executing. What? I stopped being silly. I'm sorry. Would have just nailed it if I was a little more ridiculous.
I ran out of power steering fluid again.
And you know what? The hard thing is doing the rooms optimally like that, looked really sick, but now we're at a low super situation. But honestly, at Hundo, it's not that big of a deal because you don't have to worry about running out of missiles unless, you're not doing Zeb skip, Very, very nice stat shift skip.
Nice.
So we got the Stashio skip, or the bully skip, or the clockwise baby skip. It's been around for about three years now. It's one of the more newer time saves that has been found, and it started off as a meme and ended up being something that made new world records possible. So shout outs to Stashio for that, and Finn for executing. Nice down bag Zeb skip. That was fast. There's a lot of ways to skip a Zeb, and Finn did it very well.
Wish I could say the same thing about the rest of this room.
Yeah.
Die, mother brain! Come on.
Now you gotta right here. You can't stand near Mother Brain, because if you get hit at a certain point, you can lose all of your energy. I have there's a clip of me dying like that to this there. But anyways, so Finn's on Mother Brain. We have 20 full combo beam shots that we have to get off. And you'll notice that we'll take a look at Finn's damage. We're going to go for a trick called the stand-up glitch, which allows us to get damage on Mother Brain during a cutscene. It is the last place that you can soft lock. We got the catch up, so the fight is almost over. And the fight is over, so Finn has to damage down now and get in a certain range. Now you need 7 full E-tanks right here. 7, yeah, and then 7 in the pink. And then Mother Brain will damage you down. You can stand up. You got to damage down to be 100 or below with your energy threshold, so it can kill the cutscene. And now Finn needs to be off of the ground at certain times to be able to pull this trick off.
Yeah, normally I would be going for a strat called 2 cries, which actually brings down the time. It cuts the cutscene down here significantly, but I actually got something called good cutscene, so I actually can't go for that.
And the crazy thing about that is that's only good cutscene for any percent, because in Hundo, good cutscene is bad cutscene. Because that's the language we've chosen in this community. We don't call it good cutscene for Hundo. We go, I got bad cutscene. So without doing this stand-up, if you don't do stand-up, it takes 39 hyper beam shots to...
Yeah, something like that. Sound like jingle bells there.
If you don't do stand-up, it takes 39 hyper beam shots to...
Also, according to the poll there, we'll be, in fact, saving the animals.
So glad I got that. Oh, we are saving the animals? All right, sick.
Yeah. I was just like, Kev is gone for the last part of the run because the computer died, but it's okay. We're right at the end. You got this. Good luck.
All right. So, yeah, pretty much we're going to be going towards the end of this, and normally I'd be doing a strat there, which you can use the spring ball, like while you have the blue, to like kind of go through that area, but I missed it, unfortunately, so we're just gonna have to just go through this. But yeah, now we're in the Leodox room, just trying, it's what we call it here.
Are you kidding me? You just got that short charge? I'm so sorry, everybody. My computer was unplugged when I moved it, and but now we're back.
Okay. That wasn't towards you.
No, I know. I saw what happened, but you know, I do appreciate the clarification. I do, but Parlor is so hard when you have high jump and all these movement items.
Yeah.
Oh, we're saving the animals. I didn't even know that. Okay.
Yeah. I need Oats and Goats to look away right now.
My favorite was one of the races where Emmett had to save the animals and he didn't know where they were.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked I was able to find them, actually.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's because he was like an 80% runner and never had any reason to go back there.
That's totally fair.
All right, time on when I enter the ship. And time.
Jeez. Very nice run, honestly.
What was the time on that?
Just a shade under 118, like it was a one set. I mean, it would have been like a 117.45-ish without the animal save.
Yeah, no, that was honestly, I'm very happy with that run. I mean, the fan tune didn't happen, but everything else was really
now
good.
We do have to wait for the run to be verified. We have to sit through all the credits, but I did not notice. I'm pretty sure Finn got everything. I mean, when you run this game as often as a lot of us do, especially if you're grinding a category, it becomes way less likely that you'll ever miss something. It does happen from time to time. But I think that was an incredible run, and I'm very, very thankful. Like Finn, thank you so much for reaching out. I'm really glad that you shouted this out in the community so that I could be here. I've always wanted to do one of these events. I've enjoyed watching you run Hundo over the last couple of years. So thank you so much for inviting me, and I had a good time. And I hope I gave you what y'all were looking for. I'm just happy I was here.
You were fantastic, to say the least.
Yeah, you went above and beyond, and I do appreciate it. But yeah, no, this is an incredibly fun run. If you guys are interested at all in running Super Metroid, there is a speedrunning Discord. You can find that on speedrun.com. There's a bunch of amazing and supportive members in the community that are absolutely eager to get you guys started. 100% on it. I mean, yes, it did look really flashy from what I was doing here, but like it's actually pretty beginner friendly. So because there's a lot of just like beginner friendly strats and stuff like that, so don't be discouraged when learning this. And like if you ever need anything, like any one of us is able to help out. Like run 100%. It's very fun. We need more people running Hundo.
I gotta tell you, I was inspired by watching the other day, and I did a Hundo run, and I haven't run Hundo in quite a while, and who knows, maybe I'll get back into it. It is a cool one, and especially if you do the early croc route, I think is a little bit more beginner friendly. But shout outs to the community, because not only do we have a bunch of Discords that you can join and learn about this game, but we have a whole wiki page which has tutorials for speedrunning. I mean, not only do you get beginner tutorials, but you get tutorials that for free by like literally the best in the game. And these resources are there. We have a ROM that is a practice ROM that you can load up any room, you can equip any item, and you can learn any strat. There's such a strong community for learning to play this game and speedrun this game that, like, please come on by. It's totally worth it.
Yeah, definitely. We're actually almost about to find out, like, if we even got all the items. I'm like pretty sure I did, like you said, but sometimes you do miss some things, so, but I'm like very certain we got them all. But is there anyone you wanted to shout out, Kev? Or?
Yeah, Dear Force, the developers, and the Super Metroid community.
Let's go, 100%.
Nice.
We did it.
We did it. Thank you so much.
You can follow me on Twitch over at Finn Tyfe. That is my handle. I do stream Super Metroid quite a lot. You'll also see me do some other things from time to time, but mostly it's going to be Super Metroid. So yeah, if you guys ever have any questions about SM or Super Metroid or anything like that, just feel free to chat. Like, I'm more than happy to help out, especially if it's 100%. Like, we need more people running Hundo, man. Like, Hundo is sick. Everyone should be running Hundo. Get your mothers in and everything like that. Get your fathers, get your brothers, sisters. Everyone needs to be running Hundo. Yeah, your dog. Yeah, your dogs, your cats, your
goldfish,
I don't know,
your
goldfish,
lizards.
teddy bears, everything.
Why not?
Yeah. But yeah, no, I do appreciate you guys for having us. This has been an honor to be able to do this on the on GDQ. So I appreciate you for having both of us, and Kev, thank you so much for joining me. You did an absolutely amazing job with commentary. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you both for being here and doing new things. You both were great. That being said, though, we're now going to move on to our next Hotfix show tonight, Parallel Universe, all about fan games and mods and everything like that. I actually will not be going away because I am doing a Metroid Fusion randomizer on that after this, so stick around for that. So you still got me tonight, I guess. But for now, yeah, that's it for Do All the Things this week. I'll be back after Age of the Q. So stick around. So I'll see you then, I guess, or Age of the Q, either way.
See you next mission.